heart of your teams. Of St. Louis, Valley Sports Midwest, the heart of the fan.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Tonight from downtown St. Louis in Busch Stadium, it's game number 2. The San Diego Padres and the St. Louis Cardinals. Welcome to the broadcast booth here at Busch Stadium. That's Brad Thompson. Jim Hayes is here. I'm Dan McLaughlin. An exciting Memorial Day win for the Cardinals yesterday. Now you turn the page, and the Padres have to figure out how to get Paul Goldschmidt out. He is the hottest player in the league.
Yeah, good luck. If I knew how to tell you, well, I still wouldn't tell you how to do it, but you're not going to be able to figure this guy out right now. He is hitting everything, everywhere. A 21-game hitting streak. He's hitting .432. He's driven in 31 and 9 homers during that span, Dan. He is on a special run.
Now we turn to the Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. If you had a vote for the player of the month in the National League, it's either going to probably be Goldie or Mookie Betts.
Yeah, look, the Cardinals had the player of the month in April and Nolan Arenado. I think that they're going to have it again. Got one more day, though, in the month of May for Goldie to add to that resume.
Goldie in the lineup and trying to make a little Cardinals history here tonight. The pen, outstanding yesterday in Game 1. Tonight, Game 2. Waino on the mound. Cards Padres coming up on Bally Sports. Right. Blake Snell. Padres, Cardinals. Big crowd in Game 2 coming up. What about Waino tonight?
Well, Adam Wainwright, the Kia player profile. Adam Wainwright is just so good at keeping the opposition on their toes, back and forth. Look at this, the last 4 starts, a 2.16 ERA. So much weak contact. We're showing a lot of the swing and miss here, but that's not even necessarily his game. It's using the Gold Glovers behind him.
It is amazing. These two still going strong in 2022. Waino, Yachty, and another milestone tonight. Battery mates, start number 314 between these two. The stage is set. Waino is on the mound. Yachty behind the plate. Blake Snell going for the Padres. That means Albert's in the lineup. Baseball coming up. Midwest brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. It's a gorgeous night for baseball here in St. Louis, the Gateway City. And the San Diego Padres and the Cardinals playing in Game 2 of their 3-game set. 88 degrees, warm night. And with Jim Hayes, Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin. The Cardinals on a current 10-day, 9-game homestand. They split against Toronto, split against Milwaukee, and took the first game against San Diego yesterday afternoon as Adam Wainwright takes the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, it was an impressive victory yesterday, too, knowing that it was going to be a bullpen game. Packy Naughton picked up the first couple. Andre Palante came in after that to eat up the bulk of the innings. Bullpen got it done, just enough offense. And Adam Wainwright in this one, well, he's going to look to get deeper and deeper. That's one thing that this Cardinal team could really use is more innings out of the rotation. And that guy right there, he can do it with the best of them.
Cardinals have won 7 of their last 10 and trying to go to a season high 7 games above the 500 mark here tonight. And Waino gets that call. It is start number 10 for old Uncle Charlie, and a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Hyundai pitch arsenal here. What does he get the swing and miss on? For the most part, it's been the cutter and the curveball. That's how he's finishing off a lot of hitters. You also see him pitch backwards. Get a lot of people looking there with that fastball. But Adam Wainwright it's fun to watch him game in and game out, Dan, because you just never know how he's going to attack on a given day.
Paul Goldschmidt, an incredible run here in the month of May. has reached base safely in a career-high 35 consecutive games and has hit safely in 21 in a row. Second longest in baseball this year, behind an active 22-game hitting streak from Trey Turner. Bob Melvin, his lineup: Jurickson Profar, Manny Machado, Jay Cronenworth, then Luke Voigt, Will Myers, Robinson Cano, Ha-Sung Kim, and it's Jorge Alfaro and Trent Grisham. The starting 9 for the Padres tonight. Waino in his last start, not as sharp. 100 pitches, gave up 10 hits in 5 innings. Had 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. He's allowed a home run in 3 consecutive starts. And in the month of May, very good. 3-1, 2.16 the ERA. And the first pitch taken for a ball, and we're underway.
Well, the impressive part with that line that you just threw out there is he scattered 10 hits. He still gave you a chance to win.
Exactly.
That's something that you know that Uncle Charlie's going to give you every time he's out there, whether he has his best stuff or his worst.
And the 1-0 pitch, a strike, and it's 1-1.
That's something that you're going to see a lot of. If he falls behind in a count, tons of off speed. Good changeup right there against Profar to even it up at 1-1.
Cardinals with 3 infielders on the right side. In the outfield, playing Profar to pull, and there's strike 2. It's 73 miles an hour.
I say book it. He's got one in the 60s in him today.
Oh, for sure. 67, 68.
At least.
Just flips in that curveball. Then guys walk away kind of smiling like, yeah, I knew it was coming at some point.
And then he blows 88 by you.
That's
because
right.
You're looking for that thing again. That's the art of it. Kids, you don't have to throw 100.
And the 1-2 fouled back. I don't think PitchCom was working, the electronic system, to give the signals prior to that last pitch, and that's why Yachty went to the traditional signals. Now he's trying to use PitchCom here. Those two did it at the tail end of the start against the Brewers. Swing and a miss and a strikeout to start game 2.
Showed him a little bit of everything in this at bat. Ends up finishing him with old Uncle Charlie down and in. Perfect spot.
Cardinals defense around the horn, presented by Dobbs. Yepez, Bader, Donovan in the outfield. Arenado, Sosa, Edmund, Goldie on the infield, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Outfield is straight away. They are very deep for Manny Machado. First pitch fouled back. He's 3 for his last 18. He's been dealing with what they're calling a tennis elbow, and he was back in their lineup yesterday. And the 0-1. Nothing at 2. Just foul up that first base line. Big start to his season. 353, the 8 home runs, and is driven in 28.
Well, a lot like Paul Goldschmidt. This is a guy you can't fall into patterns to. He's covering a little bit of everything, and he's up there to swing.
And the 0-2 off the end of the bat, that will roll foul. He is such a key component, especially with Tatis out of their lineup. In the 29 wins for the Padres, Machado 7 home runs, batting above 400. In the 17 losses, he has 1 home run and a .242 average.
You shut him down, you shut down the Padres.
0-2 pitch, and he struck him out. No argument. Back-to-back Ks for Adam Wainwright.
It's another example right there of Adam Wainwright throwing a pitch that somebody is just not looking for. Machado is looking for the big curveball, or he's looking for that cutter away. What he gets is a perfect 92-mile-an-hour sinker right on the corner. And as you mentioned, no argument. He saw that thing right there. Nice start here for Adam Wainwright.
Jake Cronenworth, 3 home runs, has driven in 19. Waino filling up the strike zone here early on. He always talks about 10 to 12 pitches. That's what he wants per inning. He's at 10 right now. You do that this day and age, that's incredibly efficient.
Well, that right there is on the inning. 11 pitches, 10 of them strikes.
Love it.
Fill it up.
And the 0-2.
It's a good area, too, with Cronenworth. You can get the swing and miss in off the plate.
Outfield is straight away. Little hesitation by Waino. And it is pulled foul. How about working from either the third or first base side of a rubber, Brad? Do we put too much into that, or is it just depending on who's on the mound?
Yeah, I think it depends on comfort. For a lot of guys, and Adam Wainwright working from the first base side of the mound, it really allows him to get in there, and it allows him to throw his sinker away. But Adam's so good at making sure he's in control of his body that he can really reach every side of the plate. I always felt more comfortable on the far third base side. I felt like it gave me an advantage against right-handers, but I did have my struggles getting the ball to the other side of the plate.
And the 1-2. Curveball just missed. He evens it up at 2-2. Cronenworth has had good numbers against Adam Wainwright. 4 for 6 with a double and a walk. And the 2-2 taken high, and it's 3-2.
I think Adam tried to put a little extra on that one. Ended up just falling off. Ball misses arm side. Think about Adam. He doesn't make the same mistake twice.
Always quick to adjust within a game, within an inning, within the at bat. You could see it took a while, I would think, for Waino to get the verbal communication in the hat from PitchCom, because usually these two work very quickly. The 3-2 and a grounder left side on the short hop, gobbled up by Arenado. And a 1-2-3 inning for Adam Wainwright. Goldie is coming up and trying to make a little history.
He's out of here. The man is red hot. Gone with a 2-run bomb. 21 games in a row with a hit for Paul Goldschmidt. It's been an incredible month of May for Goldie. He'll bat second tonight. Tommy Edman at the top. Nolan Arenado batting third. Then Albert Pujols, Juan Yepez, Molina, Sosa, Bader, and Donovan. That's the OPS on the right there. On base plus slugging. And the lefty, Blake Snell, is in, making the start for San Diego.
Only Snell's third start of the year. Was dealing with a hip issue early.
And the Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Well, the good fastball, 95 to 97, a slider that he has thrown more of this year, and it's going to end up being a big strikeout pitch for him. Little change, little curve, but good stuff for the former Cy Young Award winner.
And the 0-1 pitch lifted in the air to right. Myers is back with the shades on and makes the catch. And here's Goldie. So the 21 game hitting streak with 21 extra base hits during the streak. He's got 22 of those extra base hits here in the month of May, and his next would be the all-time record here in Cardinals history, currently tied with Stan the Man, 1954. Albert Pujols, he also had 22 in 2003. And the 1-0 fouled back.
Really starting to run out of adjectives when it comes to talking about the game of Paul Goldschmidt, specifically this month. I mean, all of the numbers that he's putting up, it's astronomical. And what's impressive to me really is how he shows up. He's the same guy every single day. As soon as he comes to the ballpark, he's putting in the work. You wouldn't know if he goes 0 for 4 on a given day or 5 for 5.
RBI total on the rise. It is up to 42. 32 of those have come in this month alone. The 1-1. That's the most in a month since 1998.
7th most all-time in May. Stan had 40 in the month of May of 1954. The 1-2 pitch. And it's 2-2. You mentioned the slider of Snell. He threw it about 24% last year, and this season it's up to 32. He likes that pitch.
Yeah, we'll see if it's a trend that ends up continuing for him. Again, this is only his 3rd start of the season, as he was slated to start Game 4 of the year against the Diamondbacks and had to be pulled back from that one with his hip issue.
And the count is full.
It's a good pitch to right-handers. Really keeps him honest. Then he's able to spot up his fastball away off of it.
See what he gets on the full count delivery from Blake Snell. On base streak continues. 36 consecutive games. The 1-out walk. Padres, their defense around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. That's Robinson Cano. He's at second base. Profar, Grisham, Myers in the outfield. Machado, Kim, Cano, Cronenworth on the infield. Jorge Alfaro is behind the plate. Here's Arenado. His average now is dipped to 265. 9 home runs. Has driven in 32. The first pitch is strike.
Well, you know this. It's a matter of time that Nolan Arenado busts out of this. Been a very tough month for him. And I mean, he's in the middle right now of an 0 for 17. This is not the guy that you expect. But you know he's putting in the work. You know what's going to happen.
Short lead at first. The 0-1 inside. Very well could have the player of the month for April, followed by a different player, same team for May, with Arenado and Goldie. We haven't seen, though, an extended stretch of baseball where these two guys are just going off. It's been one or the other, both very solid. And that pitch taken high, and it's 2-1.
Can only imagine what that's like if you're the opposition. You're going into a meeting saying, all right, well, hey, don't let Goldie beat you. Oh, by the way, don't let Arenado beat you. And then hopefully at some point, don't let O'Neill beat you. And Gorman and Carlson. Like, this lineup has a chance to be long.
The 2-1 floated out to shallow right, and a base hit. Goldie to second and hustling to third. Very good base running from the fundamentally sound Paul Goldschmidt. And Nolan needed that base hit into right. The big fundy, right?
That's what they say. Does all the little things right. You got to know where your outfielders are. This is a breaking ball that gets in on Nolan a little bit, but he does a good job of going the other way. Goldie sees it, makes sure it's going to get down. He goes first to third, something that he does better than anybody in the league. A lot of people think about Goldie, you think about all of the power that he has, but it is, back to the nickname, the big fundy. It's the little things that end up making a huge difference in a guy like his game.
It snaps in 0 for 17 for Nolan Arenado. And it brings in Albert Pujols. First pitch off the plate. Cardinals are hitting .286 with runners in scoring position, second best in baseball. And Albert against this lefty head-to-head is 1 for 8, couple of walks, and is driven in 2. The 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, these are the situations that Albert was signed for. It was to be the bat against left-handers. Now he's been deployed a little bit more against righties here recently, just due to the fact that, in all honesty, he's just been the best option that has been out there. Now this isn't the easiest customer, as Snell does have the velocity as well. Again, 95 to 97, but he's been good against the lefties.
And the 1-1. Right on it, fouled back. And it's 1-2. The Indeed player resume. Cardinals against left-handed pitchers, second in average and first in OPS. Albert, a big part of that.
Yeah, Albert this year against the lefties, he's hitting .385, has a couple of home runs.
In the hole with a ball and 2 strikes. The next to Albert. Fouled back. I think you're 100% right. Pressed into action, probably the best way to put it, against the right-handers, and he has been at times their best option.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, he's ready for it. He's ready to go out there and do whatever he can for the team, but I don't think the matchups have been the most advantageous. But if he believes, give him the best chance, then you're going to run him out there.
They ring him up on the check swing and a strikeout of Pujols. And with 2 outs, it's Juan Yepez hitting .276, 4 home runs, has driven in 8. Ooh, and Albert would love to have that back. Couldn't hold up.
That was that curveball that time. Maybe looking for that slider and something a little bit harder.
Runners at the corners with 2 down. First pitch to Yepez.
But you might see a lot of Snell attacking Yepez in also with that slider. We've seen the opposition do that a little bit, and then in turn, I think we're starting to see Juan Yepez pull off the baseball a little bit, causing him some issues. 3 for his last 18. Did have a hit and a walk yesterday.
The 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Four home runs in the month for Juan Yepez since his call up. Second among all National League rookies with those 4 long balls. And the 1-1. 2 strikes on Juan. He's in left field tonight. Albert the DH. Donovan another start. He's in right against a lefty. Should tell you what they think about Brendan Donovan, the job that he's done.
Donovan's got such a good idea of what he's doing at the plate. I mean, he might be down 0-2 in a count, and then all of a sudden you look up, it's 3-2. He's fouled off a bunch.
Just battles, man.
Yeah.
The right-handers have had fits against Snell early on this year. Just 4 hits prior to the base hit by Nolan Arenado, time called by Alfaro. He came in hitting just 160 against him. And Snell is set. And the 1-2 pitch. A strikeout, back-to-back Ks. The Cardinals will strand a pair. 1 inning in the books, and there's no score. Can we check in with Jim?
Jimmy, what's going on?
Albert Pujols has several roles on this team: DH, backup first baseman, and mentor. Albert has been really, really good with helping the younger players, especially Juan Yepez. Yepez says he asks Albert so many questions that Albert gets annoyed. Not the case. Albert told me, I love that guy. Looking at him takes me back 22 years to when I first got here. I was asking questions and trying to get better. That's what I see in him. And Albert says Yepez has a bright future. He told me he's got a great idea about what he wants to do with the plate. He works hard and doesn't take anything for granted. And Danny, Albert says when he was a youngster, he'd be bothering guys like Placido Polanco and Edgar Renteria.
I love it. I think it's great every time we show it. It's fun to see. It's fun when you see Albert, Waino, Yachty all together. And the 1-0 pitch, slow breaking ball at 71 miles an hour to Luke Voigt. And really enjoyed Jim's interview with Albert on the pregame, and you're going to see more of that tomorrow before Game 3. Hesitation, the 1-1. 2 strikes on Luke Voigt.
Well, you know that there is always playful ribbing around the dugout in the clubhouse, and I'm sure when Juan comes up to Albert every once in a while, it's like, oh, here we go. He loves it. When you ask questions, it means you care. It means you want to get better and better. And Albert, as he mentioned to Jim, he understands that, as do all these veteran players.
Outside, and it's 2-2. That back leg of Voit nearly out of the box.
He's got the pants hooked over the spike, which I'm sure the clubhouse attendants love that.
Oh,
Take
I
care
bet.
of those things.
Those never get torn.
But he keeps his pants down good.
See how Waino, how he's showing the stirrups? I like the high stirrups. I'm more of that traditional look of the uniform. You gonna say I'm old school?
I would not. Old school, maybe.
And a base hit into center by Voit. You wore him low, did you not?
Yeah, mainly because when you got to the big leagues, it was like a rite of passage that you actually could wear your pants how you wanted to. Because in the minor leagues through the Cardinals, you had to wear your pants up. You had to at least show some of those stripes. So it was kind of nice to be able to put them down. But that looks good on Adam Wainwright. He pulls it off.
I wonder if he's got enough tenure to wear it how he wants.
I got a feeling he could wear shorts out there if he really wanted to.
Probably. Everybody got okay, it's Waino.
Waino, you know, Uncle Charlie's doing his thing. It'll probably catch on.
Here's Will Myers. He's been banged up a little bit. Had a knee issue and a thigh issue. They've had a lot of turnover, big names coming in, and this has been the one guy that's been there through it all in Will Myers.
We were talking about Hosmer yesterday. He's not in the lineup today, but his name was thrown around, a bunch of trade rumors. Well, Will Myers' name was out there a lot too. I mean, but this has been a guy, to your point, he's been there. He's had some really good times there in that Padres uniform. He's got big power. You got to be careful with him.
0-2 the count. Was a top prospect many years ago. He is the longest tenured Padre on their active roster. He's been there since 2015. And remember, he began with Kansas City, went to Tampa Bay, and people were like, well, why is he getting traded when he's putting up big numbers as a young player and a Rookie of the Year? He was the Rookie of the Year back in 2013. And that was with Tampa Bay. And that is pulled foul.
Waino gets away with one right there. He set up a breaking ball down in a way that he absolutely would have got Will Myers to swing over with that pitch beforehand in off the plate. That back breaking ball just backed up on him a little bit.
Well, you mentioned his power. In 2012, he was the minor league player of the year, along with a few others that had hit for high numbers in the minors, but this guy had 37 home runs in the minor leagues and then finally called up, and it stuck for Myers in the big leagues.
Turned into a long-term deal over there too. Will Myers, his power now, it's up and in. Stay away from that area. You can go off the plate. But
and it's 2-2.
Yeah, no strikes up and into him.
We're in the top of the second. No score. Game 2. The Padres and the Cardinals. And pitch number 30 coming up from Waino. Ooh, you can see the home plate umpire wanted to ring him up too. Chris Siegel. Nestor Seja is at first. Ted Barrett, the crew chief, at second. Lance Barksdale down at third.
A pretty good spot right there. Did look like it just missed off the plate. You don't see Yachty hold it there very often, but he did so trying to get that call for his guy. Trying to prove, hey, he's going to throw that again. I need you to call it.
And he needs that pitch too. And the 3-2 lifted in the air out to deep left field with room. Juan Yepez makes the catch. And a strong throw back into the infield with Voit back to first. Brad Thompson's Toyota key to the game.
Yeah, D up behind Adam Wainwright. You mentioned it earlier, Dan. His goal is to get out of the inning with 10 to 12 pitches. Now, that's not always striking out the world, even though he punched out the 2 first guys of this ball game. He wants outs. He wants them quickly. He's got Gold Glovers behind him. Tommy's at his natural position over at second base. D up behind Adam Wainwright, because you're going to look up. It's going to be the 7th inning, and that guy's still going to be standing on the mound because he was able to get quick outs because of his defense.
Here's Cano, who is hitless in his last 15 at bats, and he looks at a strike. Really a low risk signing by the Padres to bring in Cano, and the Mets let him go, and they owed him close to $40 million and said goodbye to him.
Well, it was a big decision. Remember, the roster move was between basically him and Dom Smith at the time, and the Mets just today optioned Dom Smith down to the minor leagues. But it was one where they just knew they weren't going to be able to get any more out of him. Look at that, most home runs by a second baseman all time. Jeff Kent, #1 at 354. Robinson Cano at 325.
Cano is on his way to a Hall of Fame career, and that's not going to happen now. You wouldn't think. PED suspensions twice in fabulous years with the Yankees. Signed a monster contract with the Mariners, then traded to the Mets. Mets DFA'd him, and he's caught on now with San Diego. Still one of the prettiest swings in the game.
I like it.
So you like the swing, but you like it when it misses the baseball.
That's
of
my favorite.
Adam Wainwright.
That is my favorite right there. Good swing. It was pretty, but the pitch was a little bit prettier. Good breaking ball down and away right there. Cano's out on his front foot.
Where the ball just used to jump off his bat when he first arrived in the scene with the Yankees and was hitting it everywhere. Could turn it very smoothly at second base on a double play.
He was one of the biggest stars in the game.
Unquestionably. Ha-Sung Kim, 225 the average at shortstop again tonight. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner at first.
I think that's the key with Kim. Stay down there, stay down, stay away. Another guy that likes the ball up and in, elevated. That's where his power is at, a lot like Will Myers.
One of the issues this year for the Padres, and they're off to a good start. San Diego coming in at 30-18, but they have left a league most 352 runners on base this year. And they're right in the middle of the pack in terms of extra base hits. They haven't slugged. They have not hit a lot of home runs. And when they do get guys on, they're not bringing them in. Only 35 home runs, 4th fewest in baseball.
They are anxiously awaiting Fernando Tatis Jr. to come back.
And a 2-out walk, so runners at first and second. 2 outs and 2 on. Stream, out of market, regular season games live or on demand. And there's MLB Big Inning. Select pregame and postgame coverage. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. First walk issued by Waino. Jorge Alfaro. This is another one of those guys that was a big name coming up too. Some with Miami, the Phillies, and now with San Diego. Runners at first and second. Alfaro in the 8th spot in the lineup for San Diego. They are 3 for 6 thus far in the series with runners in scoring position. They actually out-hit the Cardinals 11-10 yesterday. And their starter gave them 6 innings. and yet they lose the game in a bullpen start for St. Louis.
Yeah, it happens like that sometimes. I think those bullpen starts oftentimes for oppositions are very difficult to prepare for. They did scatter some hits but didn't get the huge ones. Cardinals were able to.
Now, do you believe that's because teams are dependent more so now than ever on video?
I think there's something to be said about that, and I also think there's something to be said about seeing a guy multiple times throughout a game. We talked about that dreaded third time around. Everybody's afraid to do that, but the Padres are a team, I mean, they let their guys go. They've been running with a 6-man rotation, regularly throwing their guys over 100 pitches. Snell, his second start of the year, he had 104 pitches last time out.
And it's lined to short, kept in front, and the out. What a play by Sosa on a short hop. Very tough play. Very close play at first, as the Padres are taking that extended look in their video room to see whether or not Alfaro was out, and indeed he was. No challenge from Bob Melvin, and a bullet hit to short, and Sosa. There's no score. Some still in the sun out in right in the bleachers and the seats. Or you can just relax in the shade, and you've got your Jeff Suppan 2006 NLCS MVP jersey ready to go.
That's a good looking jersey right there. Soup, I used to love watching Soup pitch. You talk about a guy that was just surgical in what he did. I mean, he'd spot up everything. So smart out on the mound. That's a nice jersey find right there.
When you think about it, Jeff Suppan in the mid-2000s, when you had guys like Chris Carpenter and others that were so good, and the attention was on them, and rightfully so. Carpenter won the Cy Young in '05, but Soup went toe-to-toe with Roger Clemens Game 7 of '04 in the NLCS, and then he's your MVP in the National League Championship Series against the Mets and your Game 7 starter. So you had a guy that not a lot of people talked about. There's a good play by Cronenworth off the bat of Yachty, but you had a guy that didn't get a lot of fanfare, wasn't throwing 100, and yet he's the guy. In Game 7, your whole season is on the line, and he delivered.
Well, you know this about Jeff Suppan. When you think about everything that you just built up right there, about a Game 7 to take you to a World Series, isn't his personality perfect for it?
Yeah,
like that's the guy.
You're right.
Just kind of a steady,
very much in the moment.
Oh yeah, yeah. Not going too far above and beyond. Now exactly. I'm sure, like anybody else, the emotions are riding high a little bit, but he knew how to channel those things.
Here's Edmundo Sosa.
Thought he was another one of those starting pitchers that came over and worked so well with Dave Duncan.
Wonder why Dave Duncan doesn't get more consideration for the Cardinals Hall of Fame.
I feel like he should be in there. I absolutely do. You talk about the Cardinal Hall of Fame, people that had such an impact on this organization from a pitching standpoint. I mean, Dave had his hands in so many of these already Cardinal Hall of Famers and others that will be.
Reclamation projects that came here that he was able to work with. I do believe Jose Oquendo will go in one day too for his great work. Obviously on the field, he was a fun player to watch, but man, his impact defensively over the years, and it's still felt today. Working with guys, and Nolan Gorman was saying the other day, he goes, I don't know if I could have made the transition without both Stubby and Jose Oquendo. And he said the satellite camp was huge for him, working defensively and making that transition. A full count on Sosa.
Well, it certainly takes the right staff, but it also takes a player that is willing to put in the work. And Nolan Gorman, obviously a guy that's willing to put in the work, gets drafted as a third baseman. Just so happens you make a trade for one of the best third basemen in the game and then sign up to a multi-year deal. You're going to have to shift.
The fly ball into right, and the catch made by Myers. Harrison Bader with 2 outs and nobody on. So with all the fanfare around Nolan Gorman and around Paul Goldschmidt, quietly you look up and Harrison Bader, he's got a 10-game hitting streak going on, and that's a career high for him. And he's hitting .341 during the 10 games.
Love seeing that. And Harrison Bader, every time he gets on base, he's a threat. It's something in the back of a pitcher's mind. Is he going to go? Is he not? More times than not, he's going and he's not getting caught.
I was talking with Ali today, and I said, you know, I mentioned to Brad on the broadcast, I said, this, I guess, a day or two, I said to him, speaking to Ali, I said, I think it's the hardest time I've ever witnessed in baseball to hit. And he kind of stopped and he said, you know, you're probably right, because what you have right now are players coming out, and in terms of being, you know, saving their energy, not showing their best stuff, he said those days are gone. He said guys are just coming out and just throwing whatever they can as hard as they can, and sliders is, I mean, everything's being thrown at these hitters.
Yeah, it's kitchen sink in the first inning. There used to be a time where you'd establish your fastball the first time around. You try to get through the entire order. Let me just do my fastball. Let me work it to both sides of the plate. Let me take a little off of that thing. Now forget it. And it's understandable why you see it, because you have legit arms that can come in starting in the 5th inning if in fact you want to.
And starters are told, well, you're not going to go more than, you know, 2.5, 3 times through a lineup, so don't think about being around in the 7th.
Show me what you got.
Yeah.
I hate it, by the way.
I think I'm with you on that one, too.
I want to see the prominence of starting pitching. I believe that that is really good for the game of baseball, knowing that you're going to buy a ticket and you're going to go watch Adam Wainwright. So today, people at Busch Stadium, Adam Wainwright is still an outlier. Okay, Adam is not the guy that we were just talking about. He is the guy that plans on being out there the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. He doesn't plan on handing that ball to anybody.
Well, if anybody knows that, it's the guy right here on the mound in Blake Snell with Tampa Bay in the World Series, and being taken out as he was just cruising through that game 6 to send it to the 7th game, and then got taken out because that's the way they had done it.
And it worked out perfectly, didn't it?
Didn't quite work out all that well.
No, it blew up in their face.
Really did.
Whoops.
Popped up and in foul territory. Machado. Then we head to the 3rd. No score. To make a difference in our community. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, we salute local nonprofit Chad's Coalition for Mental Health, which works to save young lives by advancing the awareness and prevention of depression and suicide. And you can pitch in by visiting chadscoalition.org. Third inning rolls in for Adam Wainwright. Grisham, Profar, and Machado. Got a big happy birthday to Darby Downey, 104 years old today. World War II and Korean War veteran, and he never misses a game. Thank you for your service, and happy birthday, Darby Downey, 104 years young. That's awesome.
It is awesome. Happy birthday.
Here's a 1-1 pitch, and that's taken high by Grisham. That a walk-off homer for the Padres on Sunday. Hitless yesterday against St. Louis, and his average is at 160 with a couple of home runs, and he's driven in 16. I don't know about you, anytime that Waino pitches against San Diego, for me it's hard not to think of 2 things. One, he closed them out in 2006, the postseason run, and then I thought maybe the Padres had closed out his career. There's a strikeout number 4 tonight. It's that fateful day at Petco as we flash back, and Waino just trying to figure out any arm angle, something that might work. It was May 13th of 2018. I really felt when he walked off the mound, this might be it. He was hitting like 82, 83 miles an hour, topping out.
And again, another outing where he would do anything to figure out a way to win a ball game. But it was the first time that I had ever heard Adam speak after a game, and he didn't have an answer. And that was the one where it was a little bit scary. You say, man, is that it? Well, here's your answer. Standing right here on the mound. And it wasn't easy getting back, and he had to work a lot and really trust in himself and change a lot of things to get to where he is at today. But it's just a testament to the work ethic and how much he cares and how much he loves this game to continue to go out there and do this.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Popped up. Yachty will give it a look, and it's out of play. It was playing catch with Dominic Leone, now in the bullpen of the Giants here in St. Louis. And it took him a long time from the end of May to essentially late August, September to come back. But that's how much time it took for him to come back. And he's forever the optimist. And we were hearing him say, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. And we all thought, that's just Adam being Adam. Sure enough, boy, he was good. It was just remarkable to see that start in San Diego, and then now what we're seeing today.
It is, and everybody goes through tough times and different injuries, but that felt like at the time the tail end of his career. And now you see him spotting up sinkers in back-to-back punch outs looking. You see him and say, man, that felt like a dream. A couple of years ago in 2018, another one just tails back. Profar said, no way. Home plate umpire said, Chris Siegel said, yes, sir. Nope, yep, got it.
Brad, I remember being on a charter flight 2012. Waino missed 11 coming back from arm surgery, and he was not very good early on in 12. And he went to Lance Berkman, and he just sat there on a flight 2-3 hours and was very emotional. And he said, I don't know if I have it anymore. Do I have it anymore? What he's seeing from me? What's going on? And this is a guy now that's on the cusp of maybe Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame, certainly a Cardinals Hall of Famer, but it goes to show this game will give you those doubts. And by the way, that season, Game 5 against Pittsburgh, he went the distance and closed them out. So he figured it out.
It turns out he absolutely still had it, almost through 200 innings that year. And then the following year in 2013, he was an all-star again for the second time, and then second in the Cy Young Award. So, that's how bad this game can beat you down, though. Sometimes even the best like Adam, you can have doubts. But what do you do about them? You get back to the drawing board. You go back to work. You believe in yourself, and that's what this man does.
Machado struck out his first time up. So he's hitting .353. The rest of the team combined .220 with a .300 on base percentage. The 1-2 chopped foul. Took something off the breaking ball.
I wouldn't leave it up there too many more times, though.
Just about to say that one was a bit uncomfortable for me. Manny will put that in Big Mac land.
Well, he caught Manny looking on a sinker away in his first at bat. Wonder if he'll go back to the same thing or bust him in off the plate to set it up. Going Uncle Charlie, keep it down. Now he wants it away.
And the 1-2 hit out of play and a souvenir. Outfield is deep. They are straight away for Manny Machado. And the next by Wainwright. Take it for a ball in. This will be pitch number 59 coming up. Waino trying to strike out the side here in the third. Manny just got a piece of it.
We saw Waino 2 pitches ago throw his changeup. You don't see him throw the changeup much at all to right-handers. That just kind of tells you how much of that cat and mouse game goes on. Manny Machado, as we've mentioned, is one of the hottest hitters in the game of baseball. So you really got to get him thinking. Not only is he a good hitter, he reacts to stuff, but he's smart. He's doing his research too.
2-2 put in play, and a grounder hit to Nolan Arenado. 1-2-3 go the Padres. 4 in a row set down by Waino. Midway through 3, no score. Kids ages 15 and younger entering with a ticket take home their own Nolan Arenado jersey. Features his nickname, and get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Brendan Donovan, Tommy Edman, and Paul Goldschmidt. And we're scoreless here in game 2 of this 3-game series. Pitch taken high. So the Cardinals wrap up the homestand tomorrow. And then it's off to Chicago. Night game on Thursday. Day game on Friday. Doubleheader on Saturday. Sunday night baseball. So an interesting schedule coming up.
It really is. A whole lot of day games. There's 7 of 10 games in this run during the day. You're not used to that. It feels like spring training again.
I think generally players do not like the kind of schedule they've been dealing with currently. Not like it's a big deal, but it's more of a nuisance.
Well, it's more of a routine thing. And you really have to be able to adapt and adjust your routine to start things so much earlier, and to know where you can kind of take off on given days. Not that you want to take away from your work, but you also need to make sure you're ready for a game. Always, went by the motto of rule your routine. Don't let your routine rule you. There are some guys that if they can't do everything, they get completely thrown off. That's a problem. You just got to do what you can get in on a given day.
I would imagine day games are very tough on you.
Well, big fan of day games, Dan.
You were young and enjoying the cities that America offers. And all of a sudden you had to go to the ballpark.
Well, it wasn't all of a sudden. It was after a good sleep. Always 8 hours. That was the rule.
You always got your 8 hours in, huh?
I absolutely had to. Again, routine. I mean, those are the things that you can handle.
The 3-2 is pop foul. Did you ever come in when the bus was leaving for the ballpark?
No, have not had that one. No, I have had many teammates in the past. I do recall one who shall remain nameless that as we're leaving Memphis, boy, he's coming back with his suitcase from Beale Street.
Well, we have a moment. Quick word from BJC.
Getting back to normal feels like so much more than just normal. BJC is committed to improving the health of our patients and community.
Second walk handed out by Blake Snell. So that teammate of yours was locked in and getting to the big leagues.
It had to be. Yeah, always woke up early, that guy.
Uh-huh. Tommy Edman fly to right. First time up. Cardinals had one hit first time through the lineup. That was Arenado as he dumped a single into shallow right field. Popped up right side and out of play.
I know Tommy finds himself in the hole 0-2 here. Chances are he's going to get some tough pitches in. That slider in off the plate. But I really do like this matchup for Tommy Edman, as Tommy likes the ball elevated. And you see Snell throw that fastball at the top of the zone quite a bit. First that bat, flew out to the track. I think he could catch one.
The 0-2 fouled back. It's curious when Tampa Bay traded away Blake Snell, but you look at how they conduct their business. I mean, they don't miss on much.
No, they're
pretty good.
A pretty smart organization. They were actually the team that gave him his contract. He's still on the deal, a 5-year, $50 million deal after he ended up winning the Cy Young in 2018. So he's paid through 2023.
The strikeout of Edman.
And for a guy that just came off a Cy Young, you think about that, getting him for $10 million a year. Pretty good.
Sharman, ultra strong stats. The Cardinals 2 and 3 spots in their lineup, and they're National League ranks this year. Can't do much better than what they've done there.
Well, that's Goldie. That's Arenado. As you mentioned before, Dan, Nolan Arenado, Player of the Month in April. Goldie likely to win it this month. And as you said, boy, what is this going to look like when those two guys are firing?
Got a little taste of it last September when you had O'Neill take off. And saw those guys collectively put together some pretty good runs. Goldschmidt, base hit. The hitting streak continues, and it's an extra base hit. On his way to second, Donovan will score. It's a historic double for Paul Goldschmidt. 23rd extra base hit here in the month of May, and no other Cardinal has done that, and he drives in Donovan. 1-0 St. Louis.
In the history of the organization, nobody has had this many extra base hits in the month, and it's again Goldie hitting the ball where it is pitched. It's down, it's away, he drives it away. Donovan is off to the races, and the Cardinals get it going early on. How about that guy?
So on base already twice tonight. He has hit safely in 22 in a row. On base 36 consecutive games as Arenado swings and misses. 23 extra base hits in the month. The most ever by a Cardinal. Man, oh man.
Just something else right now. He's playing they need a new level for him.
There's the 0-1 pitch instead of check on Goldie. It's also his 13th double in the month of May, third most in franchise history. Here's an 0-1 pitch to Arenado. And now time called again. So if Goldie wins the Player of the Month, it'll be the second time in franchise history the Cardinals have won the award in 3 consecutive months. And the first time with 3 different players, because if you go back to September of last year, Tyler O'Neill was the Player of the Month. Arenado in April of this season, and potentially Paul Goldschmidt here in May. The 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2.
You talk about those 3 guys, and I just think about what this could look like when the Cardinals come to town. Like, they should have one of those offenses where the other team is like, oh my gosh, all right, they're coming in, let's be careful for a couple of days, boys, watch out. And already right now, even though they've had some ups and downs and you've seen some feast or famine, I mean, it's a top 10 offense in the league. They're scoring runs at a high clip. The fun thing is there's more there.
Reads it well, and with 1 out, now a fly ball makes it 2-0.
Big Bundy strikes again, sees it down in the dirt. That's part of the homework that goes into it too, is knowing counts, knowing when pitchers throw different pitches, when your opportunity would be to maybe steal a bag or get one on an off-speed delivery where he's trying to throw down in the zone. As soon as that ball hits the dirt, he's taking off.
That'll probably get overlooked depending on what happens in this at bat. But man, that is a good base running play. Very good. Now the infield has to come in. Opens up even more hitting lanes for Nolan Arenado. So the wild pitch, and now the 1-2. 2-2.
Snell really likes the slider in this spot. See if Nolan can catch it out in front.
The 2-2. It's kept in front by Alfaro. Runs the count full, 3-2 on Nolan Arenado. Pujols on deck. And the 3-2 pitch to Nolan. Arenado hits it a ton down the left field line. It is hooking and foul.
That was the slider we were just talking about. He likes to throw it a lot with 2 strikes to get in on the right-handers, and this one gets in just enough that Nolan's not able to keep it fair.
You mentioned not a lot of starts already this season for Snell. Came in with 13 strikeouts on the year. He's also walked 7, something to keep in mind. And a 3-2 pitch to Nolan Arenado. Runners at first and third for Pujols, and he had this spot back in the first. Third walk issued by Snell. We saw Albert go right to the video. Wanted to study that first at bat. Take a look at Snell. Maybe something he was doing. Let's see the adjustment and the damage that might be done with runners at first and third. And 1 out in the home half of the third, and 1-0 St. Louis lead.
When that first at bat, Snell challenged him with the fastballs early, finished him with the curveball.
The first pitch to him. And Pujols hits one out to right field. Myers is there. Goldschmidt. He'll tag up and score. And Pujols drives in his 14th to make it 2-0.
Well, that'll do the job right there. Just talking about how he was challenging Albert with the fastball in the first at bat. That's exactly what he does here with a 96-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball up and away. And Albert drives it into right and drives in the second run of this ball game.
So 2 outs, runner at first, and a 2-0 lead. The short lead at first by Nolan Arenado. Juan Yepez at the plate. Struck out his first time up. Arenado is running, and a throw to second. Got him. Just trying to pick up his first stolen base of the year. Cardinals are going to take a look at it. And no challenge. So Arenado caught stealing. Cardinals pick up a pair, and it's 2-0. 50. No Cardinal has hit over 400 with 30 or more runs batted in a month. Stan did it in 1949. Medwick in 1937. Those the last 2, but no one since 1950.
You never know what you might see. Wow. I mean, this game has been around. This organization has seen countless just unbelievable players, Hall of Famers. And you got a chance to see something tonight that you've never seen in a Cardinal uniform with that extra base hit.
Jake Cronenworth grounded out to third. And he's 0 for 1 tonight. Wainwright has struck out 5, walked 1, and allowed 1 base hit. 1-1. Cronenworth thus far in the series 2 for 5 with a double. Had him out in front, in the air, foul territory, and oh, he caught it! What a catch, Tommy Edman! Wow! Up against the screen, down that right field line and the netting, and Tommy Edman comes up with a beauty.
Tommy Edman had to cover so much ground to even get in the vicinity of this baseball. That's the difference. When Tommy Edman is playing second base, Goldie busted hard in this one, gets close, gets called off by Tommy. Wow.
I do believe this. More players on a play like this feel a lot better or comfortable trying that and attempting that catch because the netting is going to help them.
We've seen Tommy do it a few times.
Goldie has to get back to the bag, and he's there. Luke Voigt is the second out. Tommy Edman had a similar play to that last year in Cincinnati, you may recall, but he had to go over the tarp. And this one would have been a Derek Jeter-esque type catch without that netting.
He is so fun to watch play. I mean, defensively, he is fearless out there. I think that he still goes after that play. If there's netting, no netting, he's just that kind of guy.
A strike to Myers. So 2 outs and nobody on. Shift on the left side. And a grounder, couple of hops to Sosa. Stays with it, makes the play. 6-pitch inning for Waino. And some help from the Gold Glover at second. Outstanding. 2-0 midway through 4. Trading Card Company returns to Busch Stadium June 15th. That's a Wednesday. Purchase the special theme ticket. Fans will take home an exclusive Star Wars themed baseball tee. It is Star Wars night. Juan Yepez left standing at the plate after Nolan Arenado was caught stealing. Molina on deck, and then Edmundo Sosa. And the first pitch pulled foul.
Dan, I always appreciate your dedication to Star Wars night, even when it's hot. You're still rock that whole Chewbacca outfit.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good.
At Chewbacca, I was a stormtrooper. It was a little warm as well.
And your voice was a tad bit muffled, but you did a good job.
We got through the inning.
Sure did.
And you, sir, came here as Baby Yoda.
I had fun. That Mandalorian was tired after the
Is that right?
Boy, had
huh?
to carry me everywhere.
The 0-2, and it's taken high. But I saw you snuggling in your outfit as Baby Yoda, and I just thought that was adorable.
If you're gonna act, you know. If you're gonna dress up, might as well be in character.
That's right. And you pulled it off. Here's a 1-2. Outside and low.
Well, how about that response? Cardinals score 2 runs. Adam Wainwright goes out there, gives you a 6-pitch inning, gets you right back in it. A little help from Tommy Edman making a ridiculous play in foul territory.
Pulled the string, and the strikeout of Juan Yepez, number 4 tonight for Snell. We talked about it earlier, Brad. Yepez, you kind of see it. He's pulling off some of the pitches. Tough to do this, too, with a good changeup.
Yeah, with that front hip and front shoulder flying towards that third base dugout, you're not going to be able to get that one. And we've just seen teams bust him inside, so he's trying to cheat a little bit to get there. And you know that Snell's got that good slider in, so you want to be able to open, but got to trust your hands.
Here's Yadier Molina. And the first pitch is fouled off the home plate umpire. Maybe the shoulder or the mask. No, the shoulder, and right there, not a lot of protection up there.
Oh, that stings right there.
Sure does.
Well, the umpires are always so good at giving the catcher a few seconds. If he gets hit, there's a mutual respect there. Alfaro behind the plate, and especially with Yachty hitting, they're going to give him plenty of time. He said he's good to go.
With this at bat here, Yadier Molina passes Johnny Bench, most ABs all time among primary catchers. So he chops that foul. This is 7,659. Up next, it's Gary Carter. We got Ted Simmons, Carlton Fisk, and Pudge Rodriguez. And the 0-2. Tapped foul by Yachty. Big gap in left center field for Yadier Molina. It's a foul ball off the screen and then dropping into the Cardinals dugout. The 0-2. If you just joined us, Goldie got on base first time up to extend the on base streak with a walk and then a RBI double in the bottom of the third, which scored Donovan, and he has the most extra base hits in the history of this club for the month of May. Back-to-back Ks and 5 tonight for Snell.
Dan, I know this isn't possible, but I sure wish it was. I wish I knew what it looked like to see a ball coming in through the eyes of Paul Goldschmidt right now. What he's seeing, what he's processing, that whole, everything that goes into it. Because he is playing this game at a different level right now. Even tough pitches. Throughout this streak, he's hit some really good pitches. The double there, that was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball down and away. That's not an easy pitch to cover.
But in this homestand, the grand slam on 1 and 2 to win the game and go down and get it and hit it out of the ballpark. Here's the 1-0 pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Edmundo Sosa. And the 2-0 pitch. 2-1. Sosa flied to right his first time up. And it's 2-2.
The starts for Sosa have been here and there, few and far between, kind of tough to gain any traction. But remember last year as a starter, his numbers were good. He hit .294 when he was starting ball games and really helped solidify that shortstop position.
And the 2-2 is swung on and missed, and he strikes out the side. In the home half of the fourth, we move to the fifth, and it's 2-0 St. Louis.
The second time since his shoulder issue shut him down. 2 up and downs, about 40 pitches. Andrew Kisner and Lars Nootbaar. Jack says he accomplished what he wanted to. He said he got the pitch count up, run through a whole routine, and just get back into the swing of things and back into that starting routine. Jack said he felt good on the mound. He said, it's a weird setting throwing to your own guys, but the ball came out of my hand well and everything felt good. Danny, they'll see how Jack recovers and figure out his next step after that.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. Robinson Cano. One thing I noticed immediately seeing those highlights, if you recall at the end of last year, it did seem like his arm angle had dropped a bit, and it looks like it's back in its normal spot.
The arm action looks so much better. Again, it's just a couple of pitches, but the fact that he was able to do the up and down too, like that's part of it. Obviously, as a starter, you're gonna have to sit down in between innings, but sometimes when you have some shoulder issues, that's when you really tighten up. So good news for Jack Flaherty, and Look, patience is still the biggest thing. He's got to be patient. The fan base has to be patient with it. But you need that guy back. So get him right. Continue to progress in that right direction. And he is going to make a huge difference whenever he is able to return.
Not a moment too soon with the injuries Cardinals have sustained in the rotation. The 2-1 pitch to Cano. Out of play, 2-2. Well, at least for the moment, they are not using pitch com. We'll see if they go back to it with runners on. And the 2-2. And a ground ball hit to the right side. Tommy Edman there flips to Goldie for the out. June 10th, that's a Friday. Cardinals and the Reds that night. 25,000 fans ages 16 and older take home a Nolan Arenado jersey, and that's courtesy of Scott Credit Union. And tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Ha-Sung Kim walked his first time up, and the only walk handed out by Adam Wainwright. Adam has allowed just one hit thus far tonight. Curveball misses in.
Adam, for the most part, has also done a really good job of just getting ahead. We always talk about the importance of commanding counts.
I don't think Tommy's going to get to that one.
Don't test him.
If it's anywhere in the vicinity, he's going to make that attempt. That's for sure. A ball and a strike on Kim. And the next by Waino. Brad, as you know, I have a ticket program for certain families and kids to come to the ballpark, and tonight we had St. Louis Children's Choirs. They came down, and they're going on tour next year, their 45th anniversary. There's a high strike. They'll be singing at Powell Hall next year. The official choir of the St. Louis Symphony. A lot of fun to visit with those kids and parents.
That's really cool. I know you enjoy doing that, getting down there on the field and talking to the kids. And you said it was a fun, energetic group. They were all pumped up to be here.
They were fired up, man. Left center. How about Bader? He's there on the run to make the catch. And right on cue, all the kids wanted to talk to Harrison Bader. They like that Bader guy.
Yeah, of course. Look at the energy the guy plays with. This one right here, as soon as it's off the bat, the first thought is that's in the gap. And then you realize that Harrison Bader is out there. He covers so much ground. He gets a great jump, working daily with Willie McGee. It's all about the positioning, the jumps, the reps. Harrison puts in the work every single day to make plays like that look easy.
Jorge Alfaro, 2 runners on. He grounded out to short. Looks at a strike. 2 outs, nobody on.
So that was the one. It was Harrison that the group really gravitated towards.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I get it.
And he was great. He came over and took some pictures and signed some autographs. Ollie popped in as well. They had the T-shirts for the ticket program that I do. So Ollie said, "I thought this might be you," and he came over unsolicited and talked to the kids. He was great. A lot of fun.
We talk about this a lot, but it's the small interactions can have big impacts.
Talking with Ollie before the game about that. The 0-2. I told him that a few of the kids had never been to the ballpark, and he said, "Man, that's awesome to get them down." And I said, "Well, I don't know if every time they're going to go onto the field and do the different things that they got a chance to do, but they're hooked. They want to come back."
Well, you set the bar pretty high.
Yeah. The strikeout for Waino, and that's number 6. And we're midway through 5. Tots coming up. Of a Pride Night themed ticket. Receive a rainbow Cardinals hooded pullover. A portion of each ticket sold will be donated to PFLAG Greater St. Louis. Details cardinals.com/theme. Blake Snell struck out the side. Back in the 4th inning. He struck out 6 tonight. It's been well pitched on both sides. Cardinals have 2 hits. The Padres 1. And Snell and Wainwright have been very good. As Bader takes a ball high, he popped out his first time up to 3rd. It's a ball and a strike.
Pretty good changeup there. It's a pitch that he doesn't use a ton, but it's been effective in this ball game.
And the 1-1 pitch fouled back by Bader. 1-2. 95 from Snell. You talked about it. He throws hard. He's got good velocity.
He does. 95 to 97. The slider, the changeup. He's good at what he does. Again, Cy Young Award winner in 2018. That year he had a 1.89 ERA, 221 punch outs in 180 2/3. I mean, he was dominant.
And the 1-2. Bader hits it in the air to center fielder Trent Grisham. And he's 0 for 2. Well, Brendan Donovan started the 2-run rally in the 3rd with a leadoff walk. Came around to score. Scored all the way from first on a double to right center. Big gap right center field for Donovan. And the first pitch bounced to the plate. Here's a 1-0. A ball and a strike. Well, as Jim reported earlier, Cardinals are hopeful that not too far away you'll have Tyler O'Neill and Dylan Carlson coming back.
Was watching those guys today. Got a chance to talk to Dylan after he got done with his round of hitting, and boy, he was smashing the baseball. But he was saying the test is base running. When did that right afterwards. Looked really good. Was moving well. The key is recovery, though. You know, it's not does it bite now. How does it feel tomorrow?
It's Kim backed up a bit at short. The high throw to Cronenworth stays on the bag, and there's 2 away. Jim, you've got more on those 2.
Well, I got more on Tyler O'Neill. The Cards were hoping O'Neill would be out on a rehab assignment at this point, but that's been pushed back. Tyler's on the IL with the right shoulder impingement. Ollie Marmol told me he doesn't feel like his throwing progression had gone according to plan, so he's going to slow things down a little bit. Hopefully by the end of the week or over the weekend he'll be out playing somewhere, according to Ollie. And Danny Tyler told me he's going to get checked out by a doctor tonight just to make sure everything's okay with the shoulder. But the throwing has been an issue for O'Neill.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. 2 outs, and Tommy Edman.
There was real intent today while watching Tyler O'Neill to drive the ball up the middle and go the other way. They're really working on that swing path. I know the shoulder is the issue, but his swing was not in a good place before he landed on the IL, so there's a lot of different things to work through. But as we were talking about before, this lineup is so much different. If Tyler O'Neill is contributing in a big part of it, that's a nasty breaking ball right there that Snell upset, rightfully so.
Read his lips. He said, that's right down the middle.
I don't think Alfaro helped him a ton on that one. Drug it out of the zone. But still.
And the 2-0 pitch. Goldie on deck, 3-0.
It really does change this entire at bat. Him not getting that call. He doesn't want to go 2-0 fastball to Tommy. Tommy can crush a fastball, especially up in the zone. And now you find yourself, after missing with a changeup, 3-0 with a dangerous hitter on deck.
Inside corner gets that call, and it's 3-1. I think also maybe for O'Neill, as much as you don't want to see him go out with an injury, mentally it might be a good break for him too. He'd been struggling prior to that.
Get a chance to work through things. You never know how much that shoulder was really affecting and hindering his swing, so relax, get it right. just kind of like what we were talking about with Jack Flaherty, although, I mean, obviously we expect Tyler O'Neill back well before Jack. You have to take your time. You have to get right, because when you are back, these guys are going to make a big impact, but they have to be healthy.
Big gap left center. And the 3-1 popped up by Edman. Middle of the infield. Shortstop wants it. That's Kim. He has it. And all of a sudden, Snell has settled in. Brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. By BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. 2-0. The Cardinals have the lead in the top of the 6th. Officially start number 3-1-4 together. The duo of Waino and Molina, third most in the history of the game. And Waino threw 5, 11 of 17 first pitch strikes. 12 of 18. He's had 4 full counts, and that was pitch number 81.
Well, you were just talking about Snell settling in. Adams settled in pretty well also. Got retired the last 10 in a row. Just love seeing that right there. Just dropping that thing in. Strike 1, strike 2, putting it on the corner. Grisham sitting there having a conversation with home plate umpire Chris Siegel, saying, I can't hit that. I can't get to that. He said, too bad.
The last base runner was Kim, who walked back in the 2nd inning against Waino. He's allowed 1 base hit. That was Voit. In the 2nd, clean single to center. Wainwright trying to pick up career win number 190.
Just creeping in on that 200 win milestone, isn't he?
He's currently tied with Clayton Kershaw at 189. Swing and a miss. That's 7 strikeouts for Waino.
Just another good fastball down right there. You're so worried about the curveball. Kind of stay back, stay back, stay back. Well, all of a sudden, 87 miles an hour gets on you in a hurry. So Adam Wainwright coming into this game, he's got the 3rd lowest fastball velocity in all of baseball, averaging 88.3. Again, kids, doesn't matter how hard you throw. Can you spot up? Do you have other pitches? Can you go out there and actually throw other things for strikes? Because Adam set that pitch up so well. 87 miles an hour down. The only 2 guys that throw slower than Adam Wainwright, Kyle Hendricks, shouldn't shock anybody. He throws 86.9 on average, and Marco Gonzalez is the other one. Just be able to pitch.
Mix it up, vary speeds, hit the spots, all the things that you hear about, but this guy does it. At the 1-0 pitch. Floats in there at 72 miles an hour. And Profar struck out twice tonight. Remember, Jurickson Profar was a huge prospect when he first got to Major League Baseball.
He was supposed to be the next big thing for the Rangers.
And it's 1-2. I always think of him and Oscar Taveras were the 2 guys at that time that you heard so much about. And ironically, this is when Oscar made his Major League debut, this date. Looking for strikeout number 8. A little bit high. Remember, the rain was falling just a bit against the Giants, and Oscar Taveras, first ever big league home run.
What a magical moment that was, and obviously can't help but think about what this franchise would look like with Oscar Taveras a part of it.
I've heard from people that have been around the Cardinals organization. They say it's Pujols and Oscar Taveras were the 2 bats that were the best that they've seen come through in the last 25-30 years. The 2-2 pulled foul. They've got a couple of good prospects right now down in the minor leagues.
Well, another guy that gets whispered in those same conversations of best bats the organization has had is Jordan Walker. A young slugger. Good start again this year. Put up big numbers last year, power numbers.
Brad, he's 19 at Double-A.
I know it.
It's incredible.
It is.
Mason Wynn has been promoted as well.
Mason Wynn's making some highlight reel plays too.
He's got a big arm. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8. 12 in a row. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less. For a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
Michael McGreevy has moved up as well. He's been promoted. Left-hander, top choice by the organization.
Well, it's got to get you excited, right? You look at all these prospects that have come up and affected this team already. When you see Donovan, you see Yepez, who was part of a trade, but one of the prospects. You see Andre Palante, Nolan Gorman, obviously doing the things that he's doing early on. Get you pumped up about the future. And then you still have a really solid nucleus at this level to teach them how to do things the right way. You got your building blocks on the corners there in Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt for the foreseeable future.
Pitch number 93 to Manny Machado. Another option still in Memphis. Haven't seen him yet. Saw him a lot in spring training. Is Alec Burleson. 331. 11 home runs, 9 doubles, hitting .363 against right-handed pitching. Machado pulls it foul. It's interesting. Manny is doing a lot of damage in his career against guys that do throw hard, and yet when it's 85 miles an hour or down, the numbers are down for Machado. I find that really interesting.
It's a below that hitting speed. These guys are so used to seeing velocity, they have to gear up for it.
The 2-1. Long way to go. Donovan. Be careful. 2-2.
That was another one of those cutters right there. Manny Machado, I'm guessing he would want that one back. That was about as center cut as you're going to have. But all of a sudden, Adams right back in the count against him. His first at bat, he struck him out looking with a sinker away. Then he got him to reach out on a cutter, grounded out to third.
Long look by Waino. And the 2-2. He struck him out, and he strikes out this side here in the 6th. That's 9 strikeouts for Adam Wainwright. Goldie, Arenado, and Albert coming up. Not happy about the called third strike. Waino is set down 13 in a row. He strikes out this side. Pretty good pitch. Manny didn't like it, and he is ejected as he threw his bat in his helmet. Now it took a little bit, and then finally thrown out. And then Bob Melvin gets thrown out as well for arguing balls and strikes. And Bob Melvin's club, hitters 2, 3, and 4 in this series, are now a combined 2 for 21 with 9 strikeouts.
Woo. I'm not sure in that spot that home plate umpire Chris Siegel needed to throw him out. Now Manny was showing his frustrations. You saw the bat toss, and he was tossing off his gear. Now it didn't appear as if he were talking to Siegel, but he saw the demonstration as enough. And look, for the Cardinals, great news that Manny Machado is out of this game. Bob Melvin out of it as well.
So Alcantara will play at short, and Kim will go to third, and a big breaking ball and a strike to Paul Goldschmidt. It's been a combined 3 hits in this game. Goldie has one of them, and that was an RBI double back in the 3rd. He's also walked. 9th time that Machado has been ejected in his career. Bob Melvin, 52nd time. As Goldie lifts it in the air to right fielder Will Myers, and he'll make the catch. As you talked about, Brad, both these guys are really settled in.
They are, and you can see in that at-bat, Snell wanted nothing to do with throwing a fastball there to Paul Goldschmidt. A couple of breaking balls ended up getting him just out in front on that changeup. Goldie coming into that at-bat, he's hitting .600 against the fastball from lefties.
So Waino, he's got 13 in a row set down, and Blake Snell with 8. Arenado, kind of an odd swing, and strike one.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was looking for the big bender right there. We're going to jump on a fastball.
Nolan has singled to right. He walked and was caught stealing to end the 3rd inning. Inside, spins away from it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hit to second baseman Robinson Cano. 2 outs. While we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Did your favorite song move you a little too much? Hey, it happens. When it's time for a breather, you can turn your debit card on or off right from your phone with the Great Southern mobile app, all without missing a beat.
Ryan Christensen, by the way, is now the acting manager for San Diego. And there's 2 outs, nobody on for Albert Pujols. Albert has a sac fly and a run batted in, number 14 back in the 3rd. He's also struck out.
That first pitch breaking ball from Snell, that has been a big weapon.
Ryan Christensen, the bench coach. Here's a 1-1. 2 strikes on Albert Pujols. In the 7th, it'll be Cronenworth, Luke Voigt, and Will Myers. The 1-2. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. And Albert lifts it in the air. Deep right center. Near the wall, and it's caught by Grisham. A heck of a play tracking that down. We head to the 7th, and it's 2-0. Deeper into games, obviously, and Cardinals' hope is that it begins tomorrow.
Yeah, and they need it. They need innings out of everybody in this rotation. And to me, Dakota Hudson is a guy that can really give them to you. His ball moves so much, but he can get so many ground balls, so many quick outs. It's just about getting that command early on and being able to work from that. Because, Dakota's not happy with going 4 2/3 in, a few of the last starts. That's not what he wants to do. He wants to be a guy that goes deeper and deeper. So he's around that 100-pitch mark. Just got to make those pitches work for you.
The swing and a miss. Cronenworth, as Waino has struck out 9. He's set down 13 in a row. And remember, this lineup yesterday had a bunch of strikeouts in it as well. And the 0-1 pitch. His career against the Padres at Busch. 10 games, 8 starts, 6-0, and a 1.84 ERA. All 8 starts have been quality starts. Cronenworth is 0 for 2. It's something in his eye, did Jake Cronenworth, so he stepped away. And Waino looking for strikeout number 10. And he struck out the last 4 he's seen.
Was a really good spot right there too. Bounce that breaking ball, see if you can get Cronenworth, wave after it after you proved you can throw it for a strike.
Pitch number 100, and it is hit out of play. I love what you were telling me the other day. You'd go watch his bullpens, and there's how efficient he's been today. But Okay, I'm going to bounce a curveball in front of the plate, middle of the plate, right side, left side. I mean, he just has complete feel of it.
Yeah, a lot of guys will work with their pitches, work in and out. He would work on where he was going to bounce it, you know, as to how aggressive a hitter is going to be. That 90 right there probably to Cronenworth looked like 97 too. After seeing a bunch of breaking balls, saw the changeup on the prior pitch. He just opened up a lot of room away with that one.
So 2-2. Nobody up and throwing for St. Louis in the bullpen. And the next by Adam Wainwright. Little flare into center. That'll carry to Bader, and the out. 14 in a row. Help Cardinals Care raise funds to help further its mission of caring for kids in the community. Bid on autographed items, baseballs, jerseys, photos, and more. And new auctions are posted each Tuesday, Friday home game. Cardinals.com/CC auctions to bid. Here's Luke Voigt, 1 for 2. He has the only hit for the Padres tonight, and a base hit to center back in inning number 2.
It was a rare miss for Adam. It was a cutter just up and left middle. So a little frustration right there by Yadier Molina on that first pitch. That's a strike that home plate umpire Chris Siegel has been giving all night, and it was a very similar pitch to the one he rang up Manny Machado on, and who ultimately got tossed.
Two balls and no strikes. Pitch count at 104. Career high for Waino, by the way, 130 pitches back in 2009 in a game at Colorado. And that was at the end of the year. It was September 26th of 09, and he threw 130 pitches.
I'm not sure we're going to see that here tonight against the Padres, but I know this. They feel very comfortable with Adam over the century mark. It's an eyeball test with him. Forget your numbers, okay? Just watch him.
And the 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
I mean, that's a hitter's count, and he drops in a hammer for a strike to get right back into it.
The 2-2 pitch. Voigt, a base hit out to left. So he has the only 2 hits tonight for the Padres, and a 1-out single here in this top of the 7th. Will Myers will be the batter, and he'll represent the tying run.
A really good pitch there by Adam, and a very good job by Luke Voigt of just being able to stay back enough to get the bat to it and get it out into left field.
Mike Maddox out to visit. That'll give the bullpen a little time to get up and assist Cabrera. Starts to throw in the bullpen for St. Louis.
Well, with the 9 strikeouts in the game so far by Adam Wainwright, and he has been dominant in this one. We talked about the key to the game. The key to the game was D up. Adam was going to get a lot of outs early in the count. Well, he just decided he's going to strike out the world today. Defense hasn't been as busy, but right now sitting at 107 pitches, he's that 1 pitch away right here. You go ahead and get Will Myers to reach on something, all of a sudden you got your 6-4-3 double play. You're out of this. That's something you could absolutely see happening right here with Will Myers.
I don't think Waino wanted any part of the conversation. I mean, he knows why Mike Maddox is going out there to give the bullpen time, but Waino was like in his own locked in world, and it was more Yachty and Mike Maddox talking there. He wants this game.
Oh, he does want this game. He should want it. The way that he's throwing the ball, the way that he's commanding it to every part of the plate. Like I said, love him to be able to get Will Myers to reach on something, roll over here.
And that pitch, a strike. Cardinals among the league leaders in double plays turned. Deep breath by Waino. The base hit by Luke Voigt snaps a string of 14 in a row for Adam Wainwright. Yachty sets up outside in the 0-1. Right there. 0-2.
He is spotting that sinker away to the righties so well. I mean, that thing is just on command.
The 0-2 pitch. The 1-2.
Pretty good idea out there. Staying away from Myers. Again, his power is in, specifically up.
The 2-2. He struck him out. 10 tonight for Adam Wainwright.
This sinker away tonight is Maddox-esque. The way that he is starting it off the plate, bringing it right back to the corner. I mean, that is automatic right there. And for Will Myers, that probably looks like it's a foot outside the way that it starts. But I mean, that is right there. Perfect pitcher's pitch.
10 strikeouts for Adam Wainwright. The 13th career double-digit strikeout game for Waino. It's not supposed to be happening when you're 40 or older, and tonight is his 16th start since turning 40, passing Desi Vance, 5th most all-time in franchise history. The 1-0. A ball and a strike. Grover Cleveland, Pete Alexander at 80 starts for St. Louis after turning 40 to lead the franchise. But this is a different game, different total look at how you evaluate pitching. It's incredible.
I always say if you're a kid watching, you need to watch Adam and watch how he goes about it.
And a ground ball hit to the right side. Adam Wainwright. Time to stretch. What a night with 10 strikeouts for number 50. Authority of the Cardinals. Not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. It is the 27th time in his career that he's thrown at least 115 pitches. And I'll tell you, during the commercial break, it took a little while for Ali and others to go over and shake hands with Waino.
Yeah, that smile that's on Waino's face right now, you did not see that coming down the steps of the dugout. He went right past everybody, sat in his spot, and acted like it was just another inning.
Hey, don't come to me. I don't want to come out of this
just
game.
Almost daring somebody, right? 115 pitches. What a dominant performance by Adam Wainwright. And that's exactly what this club needed. We were just talking about innings and how you need more and more out of your starters. Well, he's giving it to you. Craig Stammen, the Chevy, called to the bullpen, in for his 16th game of the season.
Got a ball game in which it's 2 hits aside and a 2-0 St. Louis lead. Stammen went an inning and 2/3 6 days ago. That was against Milwaukee. Gave up a home run, 23 pitches and a couple of hits. They've got 5 righties, 2 lefties in their pen. And the 1-1. And that'll be a base hit. Juan Yepez. So the Cardinals have their first base runner since back in the 3rd.
It's a cutter away right here from Stammen. And just off the end of the bat, able to get it out into left field there. Pulls off it a little bit, but gets the job done.
And Lars Nootbaar will pinch run for Yepez. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. So you get Newbar that takes over in the outfield. Right-handers hitting .281 against Craig Stammen. The Cardinals get Snell out of there. He had retired 10 in a row and had settled in. Very good here tonight in his 6 innings.
He was good. And again, that's only his 3rd start of the year, so he's still building up as well. But that's a guy that they're really hanging a lot on. Their rotation is good. By the way, it's another tough test tomorrow as the Cardinals get Yu Darvish.
Hit and run was on. Cano, quick flip, not in time to throw, and they'll take a look at it to see if Cronenworth stayed on the bag.
Well, Cano goes with a little backhanded flip right there. If you're going to take a chance and know you have a little time, Yadi's probably the right guy to be doing it with.
So that'll go in the old 4-6-3 put out.
Well, pretty standard way to go about it here. The flip was the interesting part by Robinson Cano on this one. It does look like he's able to stay on that bag.
There's Sosa 0 for 2. Fly to right and struck out. Cardinals have a pair of right-handers getting loose in the pen. One out and a runner at second. The first pitch to Sosa. Ground ball left side. Deep in the hole. It's bobbled. And still in time. Showing off the arm. Alcantara. What a cannon there to still get the speedy Sosa.
That thing was humming because Sosa was busting out of the box on this one too, and Alcantara just able to bobble it, but keeps it in front of him, keeps his wits about him, and lets it rip.
Well, that's an arm right there.
Yes, it is.
Harrison Bader is 0 for 2, trying to extend his hitting streak to 11. Cardinals trying to give the Padres a road series loss, something that has not happened since mid-April at San Francisco. They've won 6 of 8 road series. They're 17-8 on the road this year. Best road winning percentage in all of baseball.
Well, they're a team too that we talked about yesterday. They can come from behind. I mean, this is a team that can bite you quickly. They've got the most comeback victories in the game of baseball as well. So you really would love to be able to put up another run or two here in the late innings. You trust your bullpen, especially the back end of it has been so good. But you can't get comfortable in this game. That does make you feel a little bit better, Dan, that Manny Machado finds himself watching the rest of this game as he was ejected, arguing balls and strikes. Bob Melvin out of this game as well, their manager.
And so Newbar is your runner at second base. Cardinals looking for some late insurance. 2 outs. And the 0-1 pitch kept in front by Alfaro. On the bench tonight for St. Louis, Nolan Gorman, Corey Dickerson from the left side, Andrew Kisner from the right. Giovanni Gallegos, Cody Whitley, 2 right-handers throwing for St. Louis. And the 1-1. Taken for a ball in. Coming up for the Padres, it'll be 7, 8, and 9. Kim, Alfaro, and Grisham. Left on their bench, Hosmer from the left side. Austin Nola, the backup catcher, and Azokar, who we saw yesterday in right field. Chopped left side. That's Kim. High throw. Safe at first. The speed of Bader comes into play. Now it gets fun with him at first.
Well, it gets a lot of fun. Another opportunity right here to add on to the insurance. Chopper, you know that Harrison can run. Kim cuts it across that just sails this throw up the line. Cronenworth can't get him on the tag.
Bader with the 13 stolen bases now at first. And it's Donovan. And when you have Donovan at the plate, you figure he's going to take a pitch or two and give you a chance to swipe it. He loves, at least initially in his big league career, and not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. That was ruled a base hit for Bader, so that extends the hitting streak to 11. 2 hits in the inning. And the first pitch is strike. Donovan walked and scored in the 3rd, grounded out to short in the 5th. I've seen him already early in his career just punch the ball to left, and that side of the infield is open. The 0-1. Nothing in 2. Well, Bader has not been caught stealing in his last 16 stolen base attempts going back to last year. Second longest active streak behind his teammate Paul Goldschmidt at 19.
Greg Stammen pretty quick to the plate. They're going to pick over and give a look at Harrison Bader here. You saw it on the last pitch, though, the holding the ball a little bit longer. It's important to vary your looks up, vary the times to the plate. But there's that seed in the back of your head. You're concerned about that guy getting there. The thought needs to be for Stammen, though, that you got 2 strikes on the hitter and 2 outs.
The 0-2 missed in, and not by much. Alfaro shaking his head. He thought he had a called 3rd strike.
It's a good pitch. It's a really good pitch right there by Stammen, and that's the side of the plate that Adam Wainwright has gotten a lot of his calls on. He's got a couple of those front door sinkers as well.
And the 1-2 pitch to Donovan. Bader running, slices one down the left field line, and it is caught. Profar, nice play up against that sidewall. And the Cardinals strand a pair. They've left 4 on. We move to the 8th, and the Cardinals on top. Which Goldie made some history. Driving in Donovan, extra base hit number 23, most ever in the month of May for a Cardinal. Extends his hit streak, on base streak. The defense behind Adam, terrific. He strikes out 10. Machado ejected along with Bob Melvin. And how about this, Brad, as we get a look at the game summary? Adam Wainwright's 10 strikeouts tonight. The most by a Cardinal age 40 or older in the history of this organization.
Really?
Previous record was John Smoltz, Dazzy Vance, Pete Alexander, all with 9. None had done this at this age with 10 strikeouts.
Go get him,
Wow.
Uncle Charlie. Giovanni Gallegos in, your Chevy call to the bullpen. We saw Gio yesterday, a scoreless 7th inning. He punched out 2 in that one.
And if memory serves me correct, it was 2009, and Smoltz struck out those 9 against San Diego. It was like he struck out like the 7 of the first 8, 8 of the first 9, something like that. He was awesome that day.
It was vintage Smoltzy right there.
It was. So Kim, Alfaro, and Grisham for the Padres against Gallegos, who pitched yesterday. think that was a Sunday afternoon for John Smoltz, and they detected a flaw. We were talking about Dave Duncan earlier, but he detected a flaw in his delivering his motion and corrected it, and he was awesome that day. A season that began with the Boston Red Sox and finished up with the Cardinals. Smoltz told me, he said, I loved Atlanta, but if I could have pitched anywhere else in my career, even though it was brief, it would have been St. Louis. He said he loved his time in St. Louis.
That's cool to hear, and it was fun to get to play alongside him just for a little bit, you know, in 09, because he's one of the best to ever do it. Obviously, the Hall of Famer, starter and reliever, and closer.
There's a strikeout of Kim, and that's 11 in the Padres lineup. As Kim didn't like it, and has words with the home plate umpire. StatCast powered by Google Cloud, taking a look at the third strikes on the strikeouts, 10 of them for Adam Wainwright tonight.
Well, Adam Wainwright is just painting on these strikeouts. 5 swinging, 5 looking. Look at him just on the outer half to the right. He's into the left. He's really commanding there. Nothing in the middle of the zone, nothing backed up where he just got fortunate on one of these punch outs. Just painting.
And a ball taken by Jorge Alfaro. Grounded out to short and struck out.
Well, the frustration starting to set in for these Padres hitters as you see Kim there. I mean, they've punched out now 11 times in this ball game. But going back and looking at that strike zone, I mean, these Cardinal pitchers, Wainwright, now Gallegos, they're just spotting up.
So Brad, including yesterday, that's 24 strikeouts in their lineup. And tonight only 2 hits.
Yeah, I think that'll get some frustration.
You know, I thought Machado's pitch was pretty good. I thought the one on Kim was pretty good. Now, he may have been arguing.
Pitch. Yeah. The one before.
Exactly. Yep. That's where the frustration was. And the 1-1. 1-2 the count. Well, with Gallegos being here in the 8th, does this tell you that potentially you'd have Helsley, or do you go with Genesis Cabrera? Cardinals have not gone back-to-back with Ryan Helsley.
Yeah, I think that you have those conversations with Helsley, and you kind of talk to him and say, hey, you good to go? Now, if things go to plan here, you would have switch hitter in Profar. Cronenworth would be 3rd up in the inning.
And remember, you do have Eric Hosmer on their bench from the left side, who's been very good against left-handed pitching this year.
He has.
Right around a 380 average. 1-2 the count. There's Hosmer, who played yesterday and has sat thus far tonight. Now time is called. One and two the count. The 1-2 pitch. The fly ball in the air out to deep right field. Over the head of Donovan, and a one-hopper off the wall. Bader backing it up and quickly gets it back in the infield. How about the hustle there of Bader to race over there and make that play?
That is good hustle. It's a good arm. That could have been 3 easily.
Really nice job there by Bader.
Yes, it is. And that's just knowing the kick. I mean, that's an easy one. You see most center fielders pull up on that ball. If they figure, okay, well, right fielder's got that, he'll end up playing the carom off the wall. Harrison hustles to get there and keeps him at second.
Now the tying run at the plate in Trent Grisham. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out looking, struck out swinging. Cardinals with a shift on the infield, the right side, outfield straight away. And the first pitch by Giovanni Gallegos. Fouled back. Nabil Crismatt, former Cardinal. Also Luis Garcia, former Cardinal. Crismatt on the left, Garcia on the right. Boy, Luis Garcia was outstanding for St. Louis second half of last year.
He parlayed that into a 2-year deal with the Padres, making some good money. Crismatt has turned himself into a setup man for them as well.
Yeah. Saw him emerge in the pandemic 2020 season. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's a ball and a strike. And the 1-1. Missed down and in, and it's a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. The Brewers and the Cubs, they're tied 3-3 tonight at Wrigley. They're in the top of the 6th. The 2-1 pitch. Grounded foul. And the count is even at 2-2. And assist Cabrera begins to throw in the St. Louis bullpen. You have Profar on deck, who is 0 for 3 tonight with 3 strikeouts. The 2-2.
This back end of the bullpen for the Cardinals, it's been pretty formidable. We've seen Giovanni Gallegos bounce around. We've seen him in the closer role. We've seen him set up. We've seen him put out fires. We know what Genesis Cabrera can do, and I feel like Ollie Marmol's done a really good job with his bullpen, the whole staff, of putting players in the right position to succeed. Ryan Helsley this year that he's having is something special.
And a high drive out to deep right. Donovan back. He'll look up, and it's gone into the bleachers, and the game is tied. Trent Grisham with his 3rd home run. He had a big one over the weekend for the Padres, and he's got a big one here tonight. We're tied up 2-2.
Well, I don't care how bad a hitter is struggling. When you throw a fastball right down the middle, that's exactly what they can do to. We talked about Trent Grisham a little bit yesterday. The numbers that he's putting up on the season have not been good, but he's far too talented of a hitter to be down for long. Had the big walk-off, to your point, the other night against the Brewers to win that one 4-2, and then ties it with that swing of the bat.
So brand new game. The 2nd home run allowed by Giovanni Gallegos.
Well, you knew nothing was set in stone in this game. We talked about how this team comes from behind a lot. The Padres a very resilient bunch. Unfortunately, what does go away here is win 190 for Adam Wainwright. Doesn't have an opportunity to get that one here.
A ball and a strike. Ooh, that is a killer when you're looking at Adam Wainwright having a chance to pick up the win tonight as well as he pitched. But still lots of baseball left. Tied 2-2 here in the top of the 8th. 1 ball, 1 strike on Profar. Shift on the right side and a swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. A night in which he strikes out 10. Waino allowed 2 hits and at one point set 14 straight down.
Well, it's disappointing. No way around that. But would be very disappointing is let the entire thing slip away. It's about getting the team win.
And a count of 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Cardinals in their half of the 8th will have the top of the lineup. And the 2-2 pitch by Giovanni Gallegos.
Well, Profar, talked about it before, 3 strikeouts in this game. Profar does like to get extended a little bit. A lot of room inside. If you're able to spot up in, you can get him.
And another 2-2 pitch. Hit down the right field line and yanked foul.
Further in.
Much further in?
I would say get in a little bit more.
Okay.
And probably with a fastball.
Not seeing the swings and misses nearly as much here recently with Gallegos.
No, we were seeing a little bit more of him establishing the fastball.
Yeah.
And I thought that the breaking ball looked good yesterday. He did surrender 2 hits in that 7th inning, but also punched out 2. But if the fastball command's not going to be there, then they can't, don't have to respect that slider as much.
And a fly ball out to left. Lars Nootbaar with the catch. The long at bat comes to a close. Inning started with a strikeout of Kim looking. Alfaro had the double into right over Donovan. And then Grisham, the 2-run homer to tie it up. Sergio Alcantara is in this spot in the lineup after Manny Machado was ejected for arguing balls and strikes. And he's a switch hitter.
and takes a ball.
We think about the difference that makes in this game, not having Manny Machado right here in this spot. I feel a whole lot better. Not to say Alcantara can't do something here, but him coming in hitting a .172 is a little bit different than Manny Machado in this spot as one of the best hitters in the National League.
And the 1-0 pitch. A ball and a strike. Just one infielder on the left side, and that's Nolan Arenado. He's even with the bag. Outfield shading Alcantara a bit towards left center. So Alcantara with the Cubs for a while. We'll see Chicago beginning on Thursday night at Wrigley. The 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Well, the bullpen yesterday pieced together 3 runs, couple of walks, and 13 strikeouts in that win. Game started by Packy Naughton. Tonight it was Waino. Gallegos has allowed the 2-run homer. We're tied up at 2-2. The 1-2. We just got a piece. So the Cardinals looking ahead will have the top of the lineup, and that'll be Luis Garcia coming in.
Well, I'm all for some late inning heroics here. You got the right part of the lineup, to your point, coming up, Dan. Tommy Edman, we know what he's been doing setting the table. Goldie extends his streak today with that RBI double in the third.
Another 1-2 pitch. The strikeout, 2 in the inning, but the 2-run homer hit by Grisham to tie it up. Goldie coming up, and we're tied 2-2. Top of the 8th to tie it up. His 3rd of the season. We saw him last year, Luis Garcia, very good with the Cardinals as he was picked up. Cardinals looking for any help at that point in time, and they were able to fix him in a big way. Our Chevy called to the pen. He appeared in 34 games last year with the Cardinals, and in 33 and a third innings he only gave up 12 earned. He struck out 34, had a couple of saves, and was outstanding.
He was solid, and the stuff, it just made you wonder how the heck he was not in somebody's bullpen already. Upper 90s, tickling 100 fastball, big slider as well.
And it is Tommy Edman.
When he parlayed that into a 2-year deal with the Padres, 2 years, $7 million. Talk about a guy that was sitting in AAA last year before the Cardinals were able to get him. That's a pretty big turn of events, Dan, in a couple of months.
It's incredible. So 4 hits aside in a 2-2 game. Tommy Edman has flied to right. He struck out, popped out to short. Garcia pitched on the 29th a couple of days ago against Pittsburgh, win an inning. No hits, no runs, struck out 1 in 11 pitches in that game. Snell goes 6 tonight for the Padres, gives up 2 runs on 2 hits. Stammen had the 7th in a scoreless inning, despite the fact he gave up a pair of hits. And now it's Garcia. Slowly hit to the right side. Cronenworth to Garcia in the out. The BJC Healthcare difference maker Paul Goldschmidt on base twice tonight. Walked in the first, and then this extra base hit. He's 23rd in the month of May, and the all-time Cardinal record, 23 extra base hits in May. Pujols and then Stan Musial. 22, Goldie 23.
Think about just all the players that have come through this organization. And obviously on that graphic, Albert Pujols, Stan Musial, two of the best ever wear the jersey. And Goldie surpasses the month that those guys had. We were talking about Paul Goldschmidt in the last couple of weeks, and you and I have talked about this on air and off air. This guy is on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the numbers, and you look how dominant he has been during his career. We've also talked about the fact that the parameters for the Hall of Fame are going to have to shift at some point because guys aren't playing 20, 25 years anymore. So some of the counting numbers might not be there, but how dominant are you while you're in the league? Goldie has been one of the most dominant players since he broke into the big leagues.
The defense, I think, is speed when you look at the stolen bases for Goldie among first base. I mean, just some of the little intangibles that he brings. 1-2 the count. Gone with a lot of breaking pitches here in this at bat. And the 1-2. He got another and struck him out. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from BOS.
You're moving up in the world. You deserve a bank that can keep up with your changing needs. It's time to make the bold move. BOS. Bank boldly.
Ryan Helsley is up and throwing for St. Louis.
Well, let's have Nolan jump Garcia right here and get Helsley in a ball game.
So 2 outs and the first pitch. Slider in for a strike. Arenado is 2 for 5 head to head with a home run against Garcia. And the 0-1. Nothing in 2. Boy, it's slider after slider, isn't it?
It is. One, it's a good one, too. We saw it last year, how quick that thing breaks off the table. And if I saw that first take from Nolan Arenado, I'm throwing another slider, too. Looked very uncomfortable. It did back up a bit, but he jumped out of there like it was going to hit him.
And the 0-2 pitch. 1-2. Padres will have Cronenworth, Luke Voigt, and Will Myers. Their half of the ninth.
Got to be very careful. I know Nolan is struggling this month. Got to be so careful with him against the fastball. If you're going to try to sneak one by him, it better be on a corner. Going to go back to the slider here, probably smart.
And the 1-2. Helsley, by the way, has not appeared in back-to-back games this year. Did it just 6 times in 2021. And if he's up, he's coming in.
Yeah, that's how it has been so far this year. And that's part of the, you want to keep him healthy, but also it's a big game. You get a lead in this one, you want that guy in the game.
The fastball taken high, 3-2. Alfaro thought he had strike 3. He was headed towards the dugout.
It was close. We've seen a couple of pitches by home plate umpire Chris Siegel in this game at the top of the zone be called. Now, most of them have been on breaking balls that are coming back down into the zone. I haven't seen too many fastballs up there.
3-2 pitch. Arenado lines it for a base hit. So the go-ahead run is aboard, and Arenado has his second hit tonight.
Luis Garcia did try to sneak the fastball by. It's a good pitch away, but it's just up enough for Nolan to be able to get to it, get out into left field.
if you're thinking Nolan Gorman in this spot, which you might be, Nolan had not been feeling all that well prior to the game, so that could be part of the decision making here by Ollie to allow Albert to hit in this spot. And the first pitch taken upstairs. He is 1 for 1 with a double head-to-head against this right-hander and a sac fly back in the third. Outfield very, very deep. And the 1-0. Pujols a base hit into center. Arenado stops at second. Go ahead run in scoring position. Back-to-back singles.
Well, both guys, it's been nothing but slider in the inning, and both Arenado and Pujols jumping fastballs. This is one earlier in the count. The 1-0 fastball up. They're going to challenge Albert with the velocity, and he gets on top of it.
That puts him 1 hit back of Paul Molitor. And all of a sudden a 2-out rally with back-to-back singles, and Lars Nootbaar, who came into the 7th inning as a pinch runner for Yepez, there's a chance here to put the Cardinals back on top.
Oh, what an opportunity right here in this whole place. Noot's another guy that can jump a fastball for sure. It's been tough. It's been tough for Lars. Has not got those everyday reps, those at-bats for a young player. It's hard to stay sharp, but a big spot like this, get that big hit, that could jumpstart you.
Big crowd making a lot of noise. But a tough start, as Brad mentioned, for Nootbaar, hitting just above 100 as this crowd has come alive. Two runners on, and the first pitch to Lars Nootbaar. And that is ball one. Our crowd tonight, 33,418. 33418. Can Nootbaar come through here in the bottom of the 8th? 2 balls, no strikes. Molina on deck.
Well, this crowd was treated to a show with Adam Wainwright on the mound. 7 scoreless, punched out 10. What's the next act here?
Arenado, the runner at second base. The 2-0 pitch. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2. From 2-0 to an even 2-2. The next to Lars Nootbaar. Good take just below the zone. Full count, and they're off with this pitch.
That's a tough pitch, too, to be able to not pull the trigger on that split finger from Luis Garcia.
Many of the fans on their feet. Two outs, 2 on, and a 3-2 pitch in a tie ball game. Here it comes. Newport bounces it right side. And the Cardinals will strand a pair. They have left 6 on tonight. And Garcia out of trouble. 2-2. Wainwright with 7 innings. No runs, 2 hits allowed. He strikes out 10. The oldest in the history of the Cardinals to have 10 or more strikeouts. So he makes a little history here tonight. Walks 1. And at one point he set down 14 in a row. The Budweiser plays of the game.
Adam Wainwright was vintage tonight, putting the ball wherever he wanted it, mixing up. If he did find himself behind an account, he had the breaking ball that he could throw in there to get back into the counter. He sunk one back out over. He looked so good in this ball game tonight, but now it's Ryan Helsley's turn. Saw Helsley yesterday in the ball game. The Chevy call to the pen. All good things must come to an end. That was the scoreless streak for Helsley as he did surrender a run yesterday. Time to start a new streak here in this one.
A .51 ERA, 4th in the National League among relievers. He had 40 pitches coming into this appearance now with 100 or better miles per hour. Hits per 9 is best among relievers. His whip 2nd. Strikeouts 3rd best. Jake Cronenworth 3, 4, and 5. Luke Voigt has a couple of hits tonight. He's on deck. And then Will Myers. Cronenworth is grounded out to 3rd, popped out to 2nd, flied out to center. Helsley has allowed a total of 4 hits this year, 3 from the left side of the plate. And it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, as you mentioned, this is the first time this season that Ryan Helsley has pitched in back-to-back games. He has done so in 11 occasions in his career. They haven't gone great. A 6.55 ERA in back-to-backs.
The 2-0 pitch, and that's taken high. It's pretty obvious in this spot. Tie game late, no walks. And he's fallen behind 3-0. Four straight, and he walked him. So the go-ahead run is aboard in Cronenworth. Voigt 2 for 3 with a pair of singles, one to center, the other to left.
Well, we did see yesterday with Helsley on the mound, ended the game with a 2-ball. He got Eric Hosmer to ground into a double play. Now the double play is going to be a little bit more interesting here as the shift is on against Voigt.
And that's 5 straight balls delivered by Helsley.
Everything up, missing arm side, so just not getting his timing right, pulling off of pitches. Yadi's going to go out there, calm him down a little bit. With Helsley, you don't have to throw 100. You have a little bit less and just spot up. This is a good spot too for that cutter of his, the harder breaking ball, down and away, get Voigt to reach. Now, I doubt he's going to be swinging in this spot. He's looking for one pitch, one spot after 5 straight balls.
And the 1-0 pitch.
A strike, and it's 1-1.
Go take a little off at 96 and find the bottom of the zone.
San Diego 3, 4, and 5 tonight. 2 for 9, and the only hits from Luke Voit. Short lead at first, and the 1-1. 1-2, and Voit had one idea in mind: pick up home run number 4 with that swing.
He was letting it rip. That's what he should do. I mean, that's what Luke Voit does. He's got big time power. He finds himself in a spot where he can let it rip, let it rip. And now for Helsley, you've got him down in the count. Make your pitch now. See now with 2 strikes, Tommy Edman playing back on the second base side of the bag.
Two and 2 the count. Outfield is straight away. They are deep. And the next by Ryan Helsley to Luke Voit. And Voit hits it high in the air out to deep left. Got underneath it. Near the track, the catch is made. Quickly, Nootbaar gets it back into the infield, and Luke just missed that.
He did. He gave that swing everything that he had right there, but just catches it off the end. It's a slider here. And it was middle in. It was in that danger zone, but just missed it.
Boy, he hit that a mile high. Hit it deep, but not far enough. And the first out here in this 9th inning. It's Will Myers, 0 for 3. Fly to left, grounded to short, struck out looking. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts against Helsley. He's grounded into 3 double plays this season, 83 in his career.
Got to be really careful with the fastball, especially if you leave it up. Hitting over 400 against the elevated fastball.
And he looks at a strike. The Cardinals in the bottom of the 9th will have Molina, Sosa, and Bader. Corey Dickerson on the bench. Kisner, the backup catcher. And as we mentioned earlier, Nolan Gorman not feeling well prior to the game. Not sure about his availability. And the 0-1 backs up for a ball, and it's a ball and a strike. The 1-1 is hit out to deep right. That'll stay in the ballpark. Catch made by Donovan. Cronenworth stays at first. So 2 outs and a runner at first base. And it brings in the veteran Robinson Cano. For 3 tonight. He struck out twice, has grounded out to second.
Cano's still one of those guys. You look at the numbers and they don't compute when you watch him and you see the swing. Still somebody you want to be careful with, especially in a big spot.
There's 1 home run this year. First pitch, 99 low. Cardinals appeal, and he did not go. Suarez and Rogers throwing in the Padres bullpen. Taylor Rogers, the lefty. Robert Suarez, a right-hander.
And the 1-0 pitch. Ball and a strike. To me, it looks like Cano would definitely have to be cheating. And it's no disrespect to him. A lot of guys would with Helsley, but at this point, cheating on his swing.
I could see him doing something like that. You have to catch up to the velocity.
2 strikes. The lefty Rogers, by the way, is their closer. He's got 17 saves this season. Helsley trying to send us to the bottom of the 9th, tied 2-2. Yachty wants it up, and the 1-2 pitch.
Well, you got the right idea. Helsley and Yachty do as well. Sticking with the velocity. It's going to be very difficult for him to catch up to something like that, especially if he is able to elevate, get it up, or even get it away.
And the 1-2 pitch again. 2-2. The 2-2. A grounder to Goldie. Helsley, a scoreless top of the 9th. And coming up, Molina, Sosa, and Bader with a chance to win it when we come back. Very good tonight. Adams struck out 10. Grisham, a 2-run homer for the Padres back in the 8th to tie it at 2. And Goldie has extended his on-base streak to 36 consecutive games. Hit safely in 22 in a row. The Chevy called to the pen. Robert Suarez, and he'll get Molina, Sosa, and Bader.
Well, you can't waste an outing like Adam Wainwright had. I mean, that was going back. Felt like your time machine right there with him. Just perfect. Spotting up everything. It's been a really good month of May for Adam Wainwright. Came in his 4 starts with a 2.16 ERA. Lowers that even further. Feels like a night for some heroics.
Suarez last 3 outings scoreless and hitless against him in 3 1/3. Couple of walks and 8 strikeouts. And the chance of Yachty here at the ballpark. The first pitch taken for a ball. Molina tonight popped out to first, struck out, and grounded out. A ball and a strike.
Well, you're going to get a lot of that from Suarez. Right-handers face a ton of fastballs. Really doesn't mix in the slider, curve, change as much to righties.
Fouled back, 2 strikes. Snell went 6, Stammen the 7th, Garcia the 8th, and now Suarez here in the 9th inning for San Diego. Five seasons he spent in Japan. Had 42 saves there last year. So the righties hitting 189, the lefties 094.
That changeup of his, that's that difference maker to the lefties.
And it's fouled back. But this guy had some big numbers pitching in Japan. He was really good.
Well, we saw them yesterday. Starter for the Padres, Nick Martinez, 4 years pitching in Japan, comes over, gets himself a 4-year deal with the Padres. A lot of good players around.
That's off the plate, 2-2. If we head to extra innings, Verhagen throwing for the Cardinals. And a foul ball. Seen some really defensive swings here from Yadi.
Yeah, well, Yadi is making him work, though. That's that changeup right there. Seen a lot of the fastballs and just fouls off a changeup. He's definitely got him out in front, but Yadi lives to see another pitch.
The 2-2. Chopper. One away. Edmundo Sosa will be the batter. Fly to right, struck out, grounded out to short. Sosa with no home runs yet this year. If you're wondering about extra innings, there's been 51 of those in baseball this year, and the home teams are 30-21 in those games. Sosa hits it down the left field line, fair, into the corner. Edmundo on his way to second, and he will stop there. A one-out double for Sosa, the winning run in scoring position.
Edmundo Sosa not wasting any time in this at bat against Suarez. Just jumps that breaking ball. Sees it pop out of the hand. Pretty good pitch at the bottom of the zone and hooks it right down the left field line.
And again, the crowd coming alive after the double by Sosa. Great speed at second. And it brings in Bader. First pitch popped up. Alfaro out number 2. Donovan has walked and scored, grounded out to short and fly to left. 0 for 2 tonight. 286 with runners in scoring position. Padres again, a shift on the right side of the infield. First pitch to him. Tommy Edman on deck.
You can see Donovan poking that changeup through a wide open left side. You know he's going to see a lot of them.
Coming into play tonight, Donovan since the 10th of May, second best in the league, .464 on base percentage. He'll make you work. The 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. And he's driven in 9 since that time. That's third best among National League rookies, and number 10 would be nice right here.
He just looks so comfortable in the box. This is a huge spot. 2-2 ball game, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Winning run is there at second base, and he just looks comfortable.
Count is even. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1. The outfield much further in to play for the play at the plate. The 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Just seems like you look up, it's 2-2, 3-1, 3-2. He goes deep into counts.
Just look at the takes right there. These aren't jumpy takes on the front foot, really having to stop himself. He's seeing this pitch right out of the hand, and he's seeing him down under the zone.
A 3-1 pitch. And Donovan draws the walk. And the batter will be Tommy Edman. His second walk tonight. Cardinals receiving their fourth walk of the ball game. Runners at first and second for Tommy Edman. The only run that matters at second base in Sosa. Edman tonight is 0 for 4. He flied to right, struck out, popped out to short, and grounded out. In the ninth inning of ball games, and we've talked about how Tommy Edman is tough on relievers. Ninth inning this year, he's 5 for 10. So you're talking about closers, top-notch guys, more than likely. Some of your best relievers, and he's done some of his best work.
Well, another thing that we see Tommy do oftentimes is jump that first pitch. These pitchers try to get ahead, throw that fastball to get ahead of him, and he jumps all over that thing. Now, I would think that Suarez, with the changeup as good as his is, might try to attack with that. But if anything is up in the zone, expect Tommy to be ready to put a swing on it.
So the good speed of Sosa at second. The winning run. You have Profar in left, Grisham in center, Myers in right. They shade Edman towards left center. Infield with a shift. And the first pitch to Tommy Edman, taken for a ball. Goldie on deck. The 1-0 pitch. Edman hits a fly ball, slicing over near the line. Profar is there to make the catch. We had extra innings. Cardinals have stranded 8 tonight. 10th inning rolls in when we come back. Extra inning game for the Cardinals this year as we play in game number 49 of the season. Cardinals 1-1 in extra innings. San Diego, this will be their 8th contest that's gone to extras. They're 5-2. You know, you think about the Cardinals when they've got Genesis Cabrera and you've got Palante, Helsley, Gallegos, very good relievers, reliable for the most part. They need somebody else to really take that next step, and maybe it's Drew Verhagen.
Well, we saw Drew Verhagen last time out. He got put into a spot, didn't he, Dan? And it was one that we weren't expecting. It was Verhagen in, bases loaded to face McCutchen with 2 outs. And what did he do? Got a ground out on that really good breaking ball of his. And I could see in a spot like this, him really going to that curveball a lot. I mean, this is a spot with a runner there at second base. You got to go with your nasty stuff, and I got a feeling we're going to see it here from Verhagen.
It'll be Azokar running, so he would be pinch running for Cano, who made the final out. You're at the bottom of the lineup for the Padres. For the Cardinals, you'll get Tommy Edman at second with Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Pujols coming up.
Sounds good.
So on paper, you'd say, well, maybe the Cardinals are in a better spot. We'll find out. And see if they want to bunt here with Kim and just try to get that run in. Verhagen was just a 3-pitch outing in the one that Brad referred to, in getting McCutchen with the bases loaded back on May 27th. And the first pitch, a curveball, picked by Yachty in ball 1.
Pretty important pick right there.
Changes the complexion of the inning if that ball gets away and he advances to third base with nobody out. You don't know where that ball is going to go sometimes with the spin of a curveball, slider, and especially off the plate.
Yeah, it can end up kicking off. Generally does. Digs in.
And the 1-0 is a little floater out to center, and the catch made by Sosa. The fine play by Edmundo Sosa, the key first out here in extra innings.
Sosa covering some ground. That thing was dying quickly. It was a really good sinker in by Verhagen. Not able to get the barrel to it, but I thought that was going to find some grass. Sosa said no chance.
Alfaro is 1 for 3 tonight. He had a double against Gallegos back in the 8th and then scored on the 2-run homer by Grisham to tie it up. The righty's hitting .250 against Drew Verhagen, and the lefty's 143. So runner at second and 1 out. And a grounder foul. Remember, the Padres came into play tonight having left the most men on base in all of baseball. And Verhagen trying to add to that. They have stranded 4 tonight. And the 0-1 pitch. Curveball, a beauty. Alfaro didn't like it.
Well, Alfaro's been back there on the receiving end of a couple of pitches that did not go his way for his staff. Yachty is set up outside this breaking ball, obviously ends up down and in, hits the corner. And the reason you get the call is because of how quiet Yachty is back there. Like, he's so smooth to get over to it.
The 0-2. Pulled foul again.
I wouldn't mind seeing Verhagen go in there again, but off the plate. You can get a lot of swing and miss in off. Alfaro really wants to, just like he did on his double earlier, get those arms extended. If you're going to go away, it needs to be either way up or down under with a breaking ball.
And the 0-2 struck him out. In that at bat, Verhagen got both sides of the plate.
Well, Alfaro is probably saying some words on his way back. He might have a beef on this one after the curveball down and in. This is 96. Appears to be just off the plate, but spots it exactly where you want. And just look at Yachty, the way that he receives that ball. Everything about that is just so smooth back there. There's no wasted movement, no trying to pull it back into the strike zone. He just spotted it up.
Yachty is second in the National League at catcher framing. There is a stat for that to give you that pitch that's like a half ball to a ball out of the zone that gets called a strike, and it's about 50% of the time he gets it.
That is the 6th strikeout looking of the Padres this evening. That is a ton.
Brad, that's 13 in this game. They had 13 yesterday. Back in the 8th inning against Gallegos, the 9th place batter Trent Grisham with a 2-run homer in the right center. The bleachers have no doubter, and that tied it up at 2. And time is called. Left on the bench for the Padres, you have Austin Nola, who's the backup catcher tonight, and Eric Hosmer. Alfaro is saying, I'd love to argue, but we've already had ejections, and I can't. Our bench is short. So you don't have the pitchers hitting this year, but number 9 hitters have done okay against St. Louis, and in this series 3 for 6, double home run, and 2 key runs batted in.
Have you missed it? Have you missed the pitcher hitting this year, Dan?
A little bit.
I have too. But it also has brought us so many moments like Albert in the lineup a lot, so I think that takes a little bit of the sting off for many Cardinal fans.
I'm with you on that one for sure. Curveball outside. Does, you know, change the strategy a lot too about when you lift a pitcher and double switching and those kind of things. I do miss seeing that too.
Get a taste of it in 2020, and I got fairly used to it then.
Yeah, well, that was a good year to sneak in anything you wanted to.
Exactly. The 2-1 pitch. That's in the dirt. You got Profar on deck, who is hitless tonight with 3 strikeouts. He is 0 for 4. But you want to get this guy right here. The 3-1 pitch. Now 3-2. A 2-game stretch earlier this year for the Padres against Atlanta. They struck out 27 times, and if Verhagen can get a strikeout here, that would match that in these 2 games of the series, with Waino providing 10 of them.
Well, if Verhagen's able to get out of this too, he might have found himself a new role. Bit of a fireman.
3-2 pitch. And it's a 2-out walk. Third walk the Padres have received tonight. Runners at first and second. Jurickson Profar struck out his first 3 plate appearances, then flied out to left. Rogers continues to throw in the bullpen for the Padres. And time is called. Well, you think about this weekend too, when you've got the Cubs and a doubleheader, you need guys to give you innings, and this is certainly a candidate to help you bridge the gap to get to the back end of the pen. And a strike on the inside corner. But it's games like this when you see it here to help it play out over the weekend.
It is. It is for sure. You find out exactly what that guy's got. You see Eric Hosmer on the on-deck circle.
A 1 pitch. Nothing in 2. Profar is 0 for 2 head-to-head against Drew Verhagen. What do you want here on 0-2?
Well, I either you spike that changeup and you make him swing over it, or elevate with the fastball.
And time called again. The 0-2. Ground ball left side, base hit. Against the shift, a throw by Newbar, a strike to the plate. Oh, he got him. It's an outfield assist with the game on the line. Nude here at Busch Stadium. A bullet from left, and the game stays tied.
'95.
96.5 miles per hour from Newbar to the plate. An absolute seed to Molina. Didn't have to move.
Let it eat. There was a couple of different emotions that happened in that play. You see the ground ball, you say, oh, good. Then you see the shift. Oh, no. And then Newt comes up and throws the bullet at 96.5, and Newt was the third emotion. Oh, man, what a play.
Wow. And now the Cardinals have the winning run at second in Tommy Edman. And this would be Taylor Rogers. We've seen Snell, Stammen, Garcia. Suarez had the ninth, and now Rogers. And you have the guys that you want coming up, especially this guy, and I don't think they pitched to him. I wouldn't.
Yeah, not the worst idea in the world, as Paul Goldschmidt has been on fire. By the way, coming into action today, hitting well over 500 against left-handed pitching. And if you're Nolan Arenado, you understand the situation here. It makes sense to put that guy on. I hope it makes him mad. You want this. This is what you want. Right here, right now? Okay. I'll give you what you want.
Hosmer is at first base, batting 6th. Cronenworth to second. You know, base hit. The outfield is fairly deep. Tommy Edman could score. I mean, with the speed of Tommy Edman, I think you almost have to be in a step or two further.
Yeah, I would think so too, unless they have 3 new bars hanging out there.
And the 0-1 pitch to Nolan Arenado. Here it comes. Way inside. Almost hit him. The 1-1 pitch. Arenado blasted foul. Arenado in the hole, 1-2. Base hit, could win it. Edman, your runner at second, trying to keep him close. Cronenworth, the 1-2 pitch, and Arenado pops it up. Hosmer, foul territory, and he has it. Pujols and sac fly, RBI in the 3rd, and a single against Garcia in the 8th. He took it back up the middle. He has 20 career walk-off hits. Again, Nolan Gorman, if you're wondering about this spot, was feeling a bit under the weather prior to the game, so it's Albert here, righty-righty matchup, and a chance to win it. The lefty-righty matchup here. The throw down to third, and a stolen base for Tommy Edman. So you had the righty-righty matchup in the 8th. You got lefty-righty here, so it works out. What a gutsy play here by Tommy.
That's huge right there. You got to figure out somehow, some way to put yourself in the best position where another Albert Pujols fly ball to the outfield wins you the ball game. And Tommy goes for it.
Defensively, if you're the Padres, you've got the all-time leader in double plays at the plate. And they're playing back at this point. And Pujols' is 118th career sacrifice fly back in the 3rd. You need a fly ball here. 10th most all-time. What a gutsy play by Tommy Edman. He's at 3rd. And the 0-1. Albert yanks it foul, 0-2. It's interesting defensively what the Padres are doing here.
It is.
You know, they're saying, look, if it's hit to anybody in the infield, we're turning 2.
You know that when Albert puts the ball in play, generally he's going to hit it hard. They would have time.
The 0-2 pitch to Pujols. Against Rogers, good numbers head-to-head. He's 3 for 4 with a home run. He's driven in a pair.
Everybody has the cameras out again. Ready to watch Albert's big moment.
Can he deliver here in the 10th? And the 1-2 pitch to Albert Pujols. Albert, a liner out to left. Edman, he'll tag up. Throw to the plate is not in time, and Pujols wins it for St. Louis in the 10th. 3-2.
The gutsy play of Tommy Edman stealing third base. Albert got something elevated that he could drive in the outfield. His second run driven in the ball game, and the Cardinals walk it off and take the first 2 against the Padres in the series. What a game.
Nootbaar with the outfield assist to keep us tied. And Albert Pujols back in St. Louis wins it in the 10th with a sac fly as he drives into tonight. What a ball game.
It was up in the zone. He sees it, puts a charge into this thing. Profar tries to give this throw everything that he's got, but you knew it wasn't going to happen with the speedy Tommy Edman at third base. Man, what a ball game. Wonderfully pitched by Adam Wainwright, and that guy comes through. How about that?
So the Cardinals now is 7 games above 500. That's a season high as Pujols wins it for the Cardinals. And we're going to go down to Jim Hayes here momentarily as you're getting ready to douse Albert Pujols, who's being interviewed. And that's Yachty that got him. These guys are like little kids again.
Hey, I tell you, these guys love the game of baseball, and they have had fun their entire careers. But this year, man, there is something different. These guys are enjoying every second of being here, playing ball, being together.
3-2, the final in 10. St. Louis wins it. And Lars Nootbaar standing by with Jim. Jimmy.
So, Lars, tell us about the throw. Profar gets the base hit. You come up throwing 96 miles an hour, a seed to Yachty. Take us through that.
Yeah, you know, right there in that situation, obviously, you know, you got to be in depth to where, you know, you can make that throw home. And you don't think it's going to be like a slow ground ball through the 6th hole, but that's the kind of what happened. But just came up throwing, knowing that, you know, guys are going to be lined up. So just came up throwing, and obviously, you know, came out good for us.
Bottom half of the frame, ducks on the pond. Albert at the plate. You guys had to feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. He was 0-2. I was on deck, and I was just thinking, I'm not getting this at bat because I was getting the job done. There was never a doubt, I don't think, in my mind or anybody else's mind. So, you know, he's the best for the reason, and obviously he's going to go down as arguably the greatest right-hand hitter of all time, and, you know, for reasons just like that.
Game might not have gotten to that point without Waino's performance. 7 scoreless, 2 hits, struck out 10. How good was he?
Vintage Waino right there. You know, I keep saying vintage Waino, but he does it, you know, day in and day out, and so it's real impressive, but it's nothing new. Obviously, we wouldn't be here without him, and he's our horse.
Good job. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Danny, Newt.
Love it. These fans love it as well. And an outstanding throw by Nootbaar to the plate to send us tied to the bottom of the 10. So one of the young guys helping out, one of the older guys helping you win. They're like little kids again. It's fun. Stay with us. The post-game show is next. Cardinals win in 3-2.